Finding out the ship's interior is quite large.
Yep.
Y'all have yet to stumble upon the lost Gilgamesh world eater,
Oh yeah.
who is currently meditating in the center of a T intersection inside a deck of the ship, unknown to where you guys are or where he is, with a ranger friend, which, of course, naturally, I completely forgot to pull up.
Oh, let me get that map up, actually. How did I... Was that on mine, or...
Do.
The dick way out left on the map.
Okay. Yeah, I got that pulled up. Questions. Immediate answers. All right, so y'all are still in the ship. You guys have been exploring and stuff like that. You actually ended up getting quite a bit of what amounts to deck 2.
Right.
Looked at, explored some of the other areas that got into a major hallway, went to the end, which was an observation deck. You went back around to a room that had a bunch of pods in it. There was a dead end with a piece of glass that was covering an access panel, and you guys started looking at. Stairs down to another hallway with some offshoot rooms on each side. You guys left off trying to get into one of the rooms.
Yeah.
Total dials at a T intersection.
Yeah, yellow is where we were. Yeah, yellow is where we were. And
The
so
echo is
then-
rough, my guy.
I'm sorry. It's coming through on hers.
Is it coming? Is pseudo muted?
Pseudo should be muted. Yeah, that headset on pseudo is muted. Is it coming through Melanie for the echo?
Yeah, it's coming through Ember.
Okay, nope. Mine is still fucking coming through.
So
Might be-
that's
might
where
be
you guys
a
kind of
little
left off.
really bad for you.
No.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Oh, is it?
A little.
So you guys left off of trying to get into one of the side rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Totodile's at the intersection. So with that being the case, Totodile, also known as Gilgamesh,
Fucking
go ahead
Totodile.
and make a perception check.
I'm actually. Wait, I'm not great at that.
He's at the orange juncture point, right? Or is over there on what might be negative level 2?
I got a 10.
Okay. So at this point, you start to hear sounds.
That's disturbing.
They sounds somewhat like clicking of some sort, but very rapidly.
That's not making me feel wholesome.
And at which point, the ranger you found, who introduced himself as Raynell,
Mhm.
is kind of nudging you in your kind of meditative state. Like, you hear that too, right?
So I'm gonna look back at the ranger. I'm not gonna say it like a word verbally, right? I'm just gonna nod in the most obnoxious way possible. Like, yeah.
He's like, all right. He kind of lets out a low pitched whistle, and you see the pseudo dragon kind of climb back up on into his hood, and the Drake ends up kind of pacing back towards you guys and kind of tightening in the perimeter. And because of the echoes and stuff like that, you kind of can't pin down which direction it's coming from. But it's getting louder and louder and louder.
All right, let's
And-
see if I can do anything to help this bitch. 1 second.
Alright.
I'm gonna spawn an unseen servant.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a. I'm not limited right now as far as actions, right?
Not at the moment, yeah. Combat hasn't started or nothing.
So, 2 things are gonna happen. I'm gonna go ahead and just have my unseen servant go like further down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell it to do that, and then I don't know if with my perception, can I tell if any of these panels are removable or no? Because I was
I mean,
gonna
it
pull
would
up my
take-
crowbar.
Yeah, it takes some effort, but yeah, you could pry one off.
Yeah, I'll pull up my crowbar and start doing that, and then have my unseen servant like kind of scout down the hallway.
Okay.
I don't need to do like a strength check to use the what do you call it, like the crowbar to pull panels off, or
You do?
sorry, because like you didn't mention it. I'm like, oh, this feels
It's-
too easy.
Well, I was looking at your stats for a second. Basically, yeah, you're going to have to do a strength check, which is going to be just a d20 roll for you.
I got an 11, which that was it doesn't matter. It's a 1d20, so
Okay,
And-
so you start prying on the panel, and you're off to the side of this hallway, and there's like some grating and some like guardrail type things before the hallway angles out and then cuts back towards the center of the top.
Mhm.
And you're prying on this panel with this crowbar, and it's not really budging at first, and all of a sudden, Raynell comes over and goes, like quietly whispering, "What are you doing?"
look at Rena. Look, I sent someone out scouting, and I'm going to say this in common. Like,
Mhm.
I may not look at it. I'm actually very intelligent. People would not believe it if I said it. Right? I want this medal. I'm going to have my scout get back information. If you would help me, I'd really, really, really appreciate it.
Okay, that's better. So he kind of looks at it for a second. He kind of reaches over, pushes on the crowbar with you for a second, kind of keeping his eyes peeled. And the Drake's covering the sides he's not looking at, and he's pushing that. Finally, kind of gets that aggravated, steps back, and just side kicks the fucking crowbar to pry the side
Yo!
off. So you got one side of it loose. You got to pry off the other side, and then you'll have a 2 foot by 2 foot section in the middle.
My midget has to jump up and try to give a high five. I hope he reciprocates. But
I mean, for him, it's just kind of a 5, but yeah.
did my spectral servant find anything?
I mean, you sent it down the hallway, and it goes down, comes back, shrugs at you, but the sound is definitely louder. And it's at this point, after like the clang of the metal and everything like that, and it's come back, it stops.
Wait, my spectral servant or the sound?
The sound. So do me a favor and make an athletics check.
God, everything my character is bad at. Hold on. Oh God. All right. Please be good. Please be good. Ooh, woof. That's
So it's at this point, as you're standing near the edge of this grating that's kind of elevated off the stuff beneath, and this like rails right near you, you all of a sudden feel something grab your leg, and it covers like from ankle to knee with one hand, and then tug, and you're just onto the floor, starting to head to the side. Raynell reaches down, grabs your hand, trying to keep you off. Let's see if he can actually get the dexterity check to try to catch you. Okay. That is a 24 for him.
That is
So he's
really
got a
hard.
hold. He got a
Um,
hold of you. Now he's got to contest the strength against the enemy. So
after that, can I like roll to shoot an Eldritch Blast above me?
above you is Raynell at the moment because you're flat. He's reached down, grabbed your hand. So as he's pulling you, above you would be him.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the sound and everything because it sounds like whatever
It's
reaches
below
down,
you.
it's below me. Can I shoot an Eldritch Blast below me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire down towards your leg.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right,
And he did beat the strength check. So he's got a good hold of you. You're not moving at the moment.
Eldritch Blast. Hold on. Hit DC. Okay. I got an 11.
Okay. So you fire it off and you kind of splash the edge of the metal grating that you're on. Just slightly off target. But it does heat the metal enough, and you hear some screaming of some kind of creature of some sort, and then some thrashing beneath you, and then you hear that click, 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 but much faster and away from you.
Can I
He
use
pi-
Vicious Mockery at this point, or are we in combat?
At the moment, you're not in combat because it fled,
I'm going to use
and
Vicious
Raynell
Mockery
couldn't
on
see
it,
it. Let's see here. Let me
if
double
that's
check something on
possible.
that one. You can't really see it. Give me a perception check to see if you can target it. We'll see if you can get that. And if you can, then you can trigger the vicious mockery.
Hold on, perception. That ain't happening. I got a 3.
No, you can't get a good enough sight on it to get the spell off. He, at this point, Raynell kind of looks at you. What the hell was that?
I'm going to apologize and then try to like shoot an Eldritch Blast in the direction that I think it's in, or do I need to do a roll perception to figure out like where this thing is?
I mean, you can kind of hear the direction it took off in, which would be from where you're at, looking at the map. It would be north of you.
Yeah, you know, let's do another Eldritch Blast. Maybe I'll get lucky.
You just got to fire at the grating, or
Real question: will the Eldritch Blast go through the grating if I aim in the right direction?
I mean, it's a small chance, but there is technically a greater than 0 chance that it might.
We're gonna do that.
All right. Let's see how your luck holds up on this end before you start rolling.
This is the epitome of you just going. So I started blasting after this like lizard thing tried to grab my.
Anyway, so I started blasting.
So I started blasting and I got a 22 on my Eldritch Blast to hit.
Only combat works for you today, Frank.
Basically,
Apparently,
being morbid
because
and offensive.
you had less than a 25% chance to hit.
Did I
I
get
got a
it?
77, so you were 2 points over the needed to actually get the hit. So go ahead and roll
Let's
damage.
go. All right, let's roll some fucking damage. I got 5.
All right.
Oh god, he pulled out his book.
Heal.
Well-
The old D&D bibble.
Frank's probably about to end up in an entire encounter.
I believe I can take it on. I just wish I had strong, muscular people to take the damage for me. That's all. Honestly, Chris, I didn't notice it until now with your head turned, but you have a beautiful mane.
I do. Okay. Like that. You deal 5 points damage. You hear that same screech you heard when that metal that you hit with the Eldritch Blast kind of melted off and dripped below. You hear that same screech again as you fire, and it happens to slip through the grates just enough to impact something underneath the floor before it's still skittering that direction.
fuck, it's not dead.
At this point, you see, Raynell's got the bow drawn back. This energy forms into it, and he's like, "Well, whatever it is, you hit it." And he kind of listens for a second. He fires off a shot. See if he can hit. So he pulls back the bow. As he pulls it back, and that energy starts to form from his fingers, snap. He looks down, and literally the bow has snapped.
I have things that I want to say, but I'm just going to look in just shock and awe. Although, personally, I'm like, you're like a 3,000-year-old dragon, what the fuck? But
You don't know that.
I don't. But my brain is telling me what the fuck.
I rolled a 1.
God damn it, Chris.
Yeah, I rolled a 1. So, yeah, that's his. So it's taken off that way. He kind of looks around for a second. He's like, I mean, we've already hit it. Do we go after it?
I'm going to look back, say fucking Totodile, and just nod heavily.
He nods and like, all right, let's go. And him and the Drake kind of form up ahead of you a little bit just to kind of give you some buffer.
Yo, dude, I'm a kobold. Make him, like, pull me up on his shoulders or some shit.
I mean, you could climb onto the Drake and ride along.
I'm going to climb right onto that bitch.
All right. You hop up and ride along and start taking off down the hallway with the, Ranger and the Drake. Meanwhile, you guys have been stuck at a door that y'all been trying to break into at the moment. What would you guys like to do?
Is it a
Main
steel
party.
door?
Yeah. Much
It's
like the
one of-
bulkheads you've seen.
It's one of many doors, as I recall,
So kicking
Yes.
it down
in this hallway. And funny enough, I do remember Ember being quite avid of trying to blow this door up to get into this door or something like that. Is
well,
that how
I'll
that would have
go
been?
if that's what we're doing.
Huh?
I mean, last I remember, the door that I was last firm about going through was the one I helped
Crowbar open.
that thing.
I think there was one that we couldn't get though.
Right.
You're at the one you couldn't get open at the moment.
Right.
And I don't think I engaged with that yet.
Did we hear
No.
anything through it?
There was nothing. I don't recall anything that actually like drew us to this door. It just let's pick a door.
No, it was just you picked one at random from where you were at currently in the middle of the hallway.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just open
Alright.
the other doors then.
I'm gonna try another
Yeah.
door. I'm gonna try the door like north of it.
All right, so since you guys are checking basically all the doors in the hallway at this point, I'm assuming, just go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. 19.
10.
10.
Okay. Okay.
19.
19.
8.
So for the 2 19s, you guys are over there. You're like checking the doors, pulling on them a little bit and stuff like that. And at first, nothing's happening, nothing's moving. And that's kind of where Ember and Wrath are at the moment. Is you're tugging at the doors, trying to get them opening anyway, and just see if they can open. And at a moment of just kind of frustration, Alaya and John, in this moment of synchronicity, from opposite ends of the hall, you both kind of just like punch the key panel, and you hear as this like pressure release comes off the door, and it starts to crack.
I think I did something.
Yay! Let's open the door and walk through.
Pause, you sure, Tom,
Which
with you punching the door? Like, I just read what was on your chest. That's all.
Yeah. So
It's actually like some trucking thing. I don't know.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, whatever.
I caught it at a truck show.
Yeah, totally, sure, whatever. I believe
we'll
you.
go with it. But as you guys start to open the doors and look in a bit more and stuff like that, these seem to be some kind of containment of some sort. They're no windows, no beds, no furniture. There's grating that looks like it's been tore at, mauled at over time. There's sections of it that are clawed up and scratched up. There's sections of it that look like it had been, defecated on, that kind of stuff. But
That
there is a
wasn't me
section of
this
it that has been pulled and torn and pulled in towards the cell and opened up and ripped upwards.
So we're in a room with cells.
A hallway.
Based on what you
cells.
two are seeing, that's what it looks
Okay,
like.
why explicitly this part of the ship has poop on it based off of what you said?
Because it's jail cells and
Just the rest of it was immaculately clean.
You know what I mean? Like,
dead bodies and everything.
I love Dead Space.
Can we notice? Well, outside of and those are the only two rooms, like at the either end of the hall, that are just like this.
Honestly, it was sheer happenstance. The short out when they hit it caused these to open.
Right.
So we're in a room full of. There's no light in there either.
I mean, it's faint at this point. It seems like whatever energy is on those upper floors isn't getting down to these lower ones as much.
All right.
So a few of the lights, like occasionally, are flickering here and there. Some of them just don't turn on.
We should probably investigate.
hey kids, you want to see a dead body?
Hey, kids.
Let's split up, gang. Is there more than one way to go?
At the moment, you guys still haven't proceeded out of the hall.
Yeah, I was about to see what's at the south end. If the south end of the hall has an entrance exit to it.
It does. This one seems to be partially closed almost. It's got like these 3 layers of metal that kind of interlock with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever happened during the crash, or whatever the case may be, the mechanism malfunctioned. So they're not lined up or anything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not able to fully close. So there is a space that you guys could fit through.
To get out of the hallway?
Yeah, to head towards the front of the ship.
Okay.
Why don't you send Elia and I and half the men one direction, and you guys continue the other half of the men.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Wait, there's a
Which way
forking
you
road
want
at the
us?
bottom of the hall?
No, there's you said at the end of the hallway, and then the inside the door we just opened, right?
There's 2 doors.
No, you guys open the 2 cells at the very end of the hallway towards the bow of the ship. There is a 3-layer door that has malfunctioned and shifted. That leads to another section of the ship that seems to head, like, as you guys go through that area and get into the next space, you'd be able to see that this hallway now ramps downward.
Mm-hmm. It goes downhill, so to speak, as it heads towards the bow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then yeah, I'll go ahead and get on through the squeeze through the door set.
Okay.
I think I should be pretty good and safe to make that move.
All right. So you guys start to head down the rampway as you guys make your way through the door. For those who are going through it, it goes down for about 30 feet.
Okay.
And then it opens up into about 100-foot wide by 75-foot tall space. There does seem to be a couple of mechanical vehicles of some sort around.
Ooh.
Some of them aren't fully assembled, like the wheels aren't on them and things like that. But there are a few that are fully intact, set up as transports of some sort. But they look like it could fit about 6 people in it.
Okay.
Seems
like a garage or a shop or something like that.
Do I have? Oh wait, yes I do. I'm with this group, right?
Yeah. I mean, right now you still are together in this area at the moment. It hasn't split.
I am gonna go and try to tinker with one of those vehicles.
Yeah, for future reference, I'm the only one that's been separated from the group.
At the moment, yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and Elia, sorry. Give me your tinker tool check. So that's going to be an intelligence base for you at the moment. Trying to figure it out, I'm assuming, unless you're like trying to rip it apart?
Just trying to figure it out.
Okay, so intelligence plus your proficiency modifier, so 3 plus d20.
3?
Mm-hmm.
It's only 2 on my end.
You have a proficiency bonus of 2
because of
plus
the
1.
intelligence. Okay, yeah, no. 11.
Okay. You've seen stuff similar to this in LSD and stuff like that. There are a few hunter groups that have used these to traverse the wilds near your area.
Mm-hmm.
It's an arcing vehicle that's powered by sort of like crystals
Mm-hmm.
that allows you to traverse much like a wagon or a cart would, but at a
Mhm.
higher speed.
Okay.
For a visual reference, think a warthog without the gun,
Yo.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Can I roll for percussive maintenance?
I mean, you can try to figure out how to turn it on and stuff like that. That would be more of investigation.
Well, I said percussive maintenance.
I mean, you
Or-
can kick it. It won't do much,
Would
but
that be a strength check?
Percussive maintenance.
I'm assuming you were trying to
Mechanical
turn it on.
Yeah,
In all-
that is
in all
what I'm
fairness-
trying to do.
That's
All
pretty
right.
percussive.
Go ahead and do me a favor. Just throw the investigation check in that regard. But
Alrighty. 17.
all right. So after you kick it a few times, it doesn't do anything. There's no like energy on it or anything at the moment. You kind of like look into like where the driver would normally go,
Mhm.
and you're fiddling around with a bunch of the switches, stuff like that. None of the language that's written on it makes any sense to you. But eventually, after you flip a bunch of switches and stuff like that, you eventually hit one, and it comes to life. The lights come on and illuminate the chamber. And at this
Guys!
point,
Sorry.
you guys are now able to see fully and notice that in a part of the room, there looks to be a bunch of crates that were piled up in like a defensive barricade. And there
Okay.
are several pieces of that have been ripped, shredded, thrown.
Can I go over and check for corpses and or loots?
Yeah.
You fool of a took.
Also, hey guys! We got a wagon!
Pretty much.
I think it's
But-
more than a wagon, Alaya. Is the barricade just like a standalone, or is it like trying to block a door or something like
It
that?
looks like something happened in here that whoever was in here at that point in time tried to hastily throw something defensible together with
Right.
like the crates and things that were lying around.
Right.
And then whatever it was that was attacking here just overrun the shit out of it. Because as you guys climb past the barricade, John, as you come over the barricades,
Mhm.
there is about 12 corpses, but each one of them is missing pieces. Some of them are missing a
Nice.
skull, some of them missing legs, some of them missing arms. Pieces of whatever attacked them took pieces with them.
Right.
We got something very aggressive on our hands.
Could I roll a perception check? I'm going to try to see if there's anything on the rooftops.
In the room?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Perception. 19.
All right. At this point, you do notice it's kind of hard to tell because everything in here is kind of grayscales, metals, and stuff like that. But
Right.
about halfway up, you're starting to notice more so that there seems to be some sort of catwalk. And if
Like
you look at
overhead.
it, yeah, overhead, and then beyond that, a little ways, you can start to see what looks to be like some kind of upper hatch of some sort
Mhm.
Mhm.
that would open up.
I point this out to everyone. I'm like, there's a catwalk above us.
And there's an upper hatch that's like on the ceiling that would probably put us up one level, honestly.
Lead back up to the first level.
Actually, I feel like that would put us. It'd probably put us back into the observation deck or something.
That makes sense.
One way
I
to
mean,
find out.
Spacing wise, this would be about 30 to 40 feet in front of the spacing of the observation area,
Okay. We can just adjust a few things here.
which for recollection purposes, when you were in the observation room beyond the glass, all you could see was dirt.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm just looking at the Miro map. And that's 40 feet above us.
40 to 50 feet, yeah.
Okay, so
Roughly.
that's even if we had a Gilgamesh, John couldn't throw him up. Well,
mean,
wait,
yeah.
Well, there's a ladder, right?
is there a ladder?
Not one in this space, no. It looks
Oh,
like the catwalk is accessible from somewhere beyond this space.
Can we pull that bus up and climb up to that catwalk?
I mean, with some effort and moving some vehicles around and stacking some of the barricade stuff up, you could get enough to get to the catwalk.
Yeah, let's do that.
Huh?
Yeah.
So for about the next 15, 20 minutes, you guys are moving things around to stack everything up and get
There's
everything
no other
ready.
entrance or exit in this room, is there, other than the catwalk above and the
I mean,
other door?
not. Give me an investigation check for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, come on, Scooby Doo.
5.
Not that
Can I
you can
assist?
tell.
Can I assist that roll?
You can try if you want to look around while everybody's stacking everything.
Yeah, really spread your eyes.
Investigation. Nope, 4.
Okay.
While they're doing this, can I take the vehicle for a test drive throughout the room?
I mean, there's no space to drive it around a little bit, not much, but you can't fully let it out. But yeah,
All right.
Matty, that's fucked up.
What?
They can't see her like, I'm going to drive this around for a test drive.
Gonna blind us with those high beams.
getting donuts in the center of the room.
I'm going to run you guys
Also,
over with this motherfucker.
We also have the rest of the room to explore too. So I'm gonna check that out to see if my movement or my light disturbs anything.
Yeah, you're just going to run over your allies with your car.
I mean,
Maybe a
maybe.
choking hazard with all the exhaust.
Give me a perception check with a disadvantage on this because you're moving.
Oh, God.
Disadvantage?
Yeah, you're moving pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah.
I rolled a
5.
12.
Damn it.
Okay. So you catch something as you're kind of doing the donuts and stuff like that. The tail end of something crawls below the floor towards, heading more towards the front of the ship.
Mm,
On that
That's
note,
unfortunate.
On that
Um,
note,
cutting back over to our friend Gilgamesh for a moment. And
Gil, what
well,
up?
actually,
It's
wait,
your boy.
Ember, are you doing anything at the moment, or are you just kind of helping stack up?
Helping us back up.
Okay. So over to Gilgamesh.
Mhm.
You and lovely Raynell here moved your way down the hall from your junction you were at for a good little stint for a minute until the hall kind of widens
Okay.
to about 30 feet, then 40 feet, then 50 feet across. And then it just kind of keeps going out at 10 to 15 foot increments over 20 feet.
Okay.
So as it's doing this and stuff like that, it finally gets wide to the point where it's very large space. And you hear the skittering and stuff like that beneath the grating and the floors and stuff. You think we haven't quite been able to spot it yet. And then you hear it click, 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 and it stops. And then it starts back up again. But there's this other sound you're starting to hear faintly. But as you're looking at stuff, you do start to notice there is a some kind of mid-stack pillar
Mhm.
that's about waist height. As Raynell's kind of looking at it, and he walks over with you towards it. Well, it's got buttons. And he kind of looks down at you because you can't kind of height-wise see it, even with the writing on the drake.
So I'm gonna ask them to pick me up.
He just kind of reaches down, grabs the ropes, picks you up.
All right, and what kind of check would it be for me to be able to determine what this is?
A history check with a hard DC for you.
Hard disadvantage, or what does that mean? Because I got
No, it means
+5.
the DC's high.
really high DC, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just saying I got +5 in history.
Where is he gone on the map, by the way?
North.
So I got a 19 on my history check.
I mean, you've seen a few things like this or similar to this near some of the gates of Elistine and stuff as you made your way to the city when you were a much younger kobold.
You know what?
Um,
Can I mulligan and try that again?
sure.
What that tells me is that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! All right, I got a 6.
Yeah, not much more than that. So, yeah,
Just
you
tell me I'm
basically,
stupid.
it looks like something that opens or controls or does something to the space.
That is more than enough information, actually. He said it opens, controls, or opens something, right?
Yeah, it does something. It's just got buttons on it.
With my eyes, can I determine how many buttons there are there?
Yeah, there's like 3, 4, 6.
How are the buttons separated from each other?
Um. Ooh, wait. Give me a second. You are one of those ones that has languages.
Lots of them, actually.
Okay, give me an intelligence check.
Ha! I'm retarded. 1 second. Intelligence.
So D20 plus 3.
I know it says save, but it's D20 plus 3. 17.
So 17. All right. So you're looking at it for a minute, and you're looking at the words, and like parts of it kind of make sense. So you like some of them look like they open something or close something, but they're like those clear things with like a gray background with some words on it that you can't really read. But
Right, but I
the
know
words are
they
similar enough
open
to
something
the
and they
language you
close
know.
something. Okay.
Yeah, you definitely know that those 4 open and close something. You're not sure what, but it open and closes something.
I'm going to pass this information on to the ranger and ask for assistance.
All right. It's like,
It's more like, what do you want me to do with this information?
he looks at it for a second, goes, well, when in doubt, and just smacks one of the buttons that says open.
I'm going to slap him on the shoulder super hard and give him a thumbs up.
I think the theme of this whole episode is percussive maintenance.
Kind of.
Weirdly enough, yes. And there's going to be
So-
more chaos and destruction continuing.
On that note, both of you sets of people see yellow lights kick on one side of your room. Yours for Totodile here is beyond the pillar. There's 2 lights that kick on and basically start caution lights going on in front of you on this large wall. For those of you inside the motor pool area, that is the wall closest to the barricade area, and it's also on the same side of the room that you saw that thing crawl into the hole.
Is that port side?
Let
Or
me
is
pull it
that
up real quick.
about? Because is that
So
yeah?
here's where the barricade was on this side. That garage shop.
Where'd you post, Matt?
Let me see.
It's the Miro map thing that was in the D&D resources, I believe, campaign resources.
Okay.
All right, so I can do that.
Yeah, campaign docs. Okay, star was where the lights are going.
No, that's where the barricade area was on that side of the room.
Okay.
And that I don't want to. No, oh god, I didn't want to do that. Buttons.
Hit escape or delete.
There we go. That's where the monster crawled through.
Can I shoot an Eldritch Blast in that direction?
You didn't see the monster.
But
you
could
heard
I
was-
hear it and interpret it?
Yeah, from your side, you heard it skittering that direction. You didn't hear anything for a little bit, and then it skittered back towards you guys. But it hasn't made a sound in a minute since he's hit that button.
But based off of the information I have, can I do a perception check to try and guess where it is?
I mean, you can try. It's going to be a hard one, though,
I'm cool with that.
because you're guesstimating based on kind of where you heard that last sound.
God, that's unfortunate. I got a 6. I
Yeah, no,
interpret
you
nothing.
Can't quite pin it down where you thought you saw it. After a couple seconds, you guys hear more of that like pressurized air release sound on both sides before you guys start seeing the door split and crack and the wall start to slide and move away from the center. And basically at this
While
point,
that's happening, can I use my crowbar to get more of that metal?
I mean, these panels are a lot larger than the smaller hallway. It wouldn't be. I mean, this would be like the panels in here would be hard for Wrath to pry off, like size wise. These are much larger, solid sections.
I get it. But I
Yeah.
want to try.
I mean, at this point, the description of the scene would end up being as it opens up, Raynell and you, like as you're like hanging onto the wall, feet on it with the crowbar trying to pry the panel off. You see a vehicle doing donuts in the center of the room kind of come to a stop as the lights pass over Raynell, a Drake, and there's the rest of your party standing there as Raynell's kind of like bow back type thing, and he realizes that doesn't work. I broke the string. Sword.
No, that's fine. Look, I'm happy my team's here. That's good. We're good.
Yeah, you see them, and yeah,
Okay,
from
wait.
your guys' perspective, from those in the garage, that the wall just kind of split and then slid away from each other, and now there's some dude with a Drake and a longsword, and
Are my lights flashing at them?
like they're
Fucking-
directly in that direction of like them, and you just see a kobold with a crowbar trying to pry like a 20-foot by 20-foot panel off the wall. That's the current situation.
Help me.
Yep.
Gilgamesh, is that you?
I'm gonna look at him and be like, in a disappointing, self-cautious way. No?
He got like without taking his eyes off your party. Raynell kind of like shouts over to you, friend or foe?
Friend?
Frenemy?
Can
Good
I ask
enough.
why you're with our cold bald, sir?
Leave him alone.
Is that
I will answer.
uncommon?
I'm going to seduce Aaron's character into leaving this character alone. I know seduction wasn't necessary, but for me it is.
All right. So I've got to ask two things. One, what are you saying to try to distract him in this situation?
I don't know. I'm going to spread my cheeks and just shake my ass because I feel like that's the most distracting thing I could do as a kobold.
I'm going up to Ren to introduce myself.
Dude, just let me roll my persuasion check already. I got
I
advantage.
mean, go for it.
Yo,
With dwarves, not with minotaurs.
it doesn't matter.
It
Oh,
does.
God.
He
Yeah,
looks down on me
I
anyway,
still got
so
11. Even
Yeah,
if it
what?
doesn't work, I'm gonna shake my ass in front of him. I got an 11.
All right, you're twerking on like horizontally while still holding the crowbar. You're just twerking at him like you're a stripper, but
Dude, like
suspended off a wall like this.
the crowbar is in between my butt cheeks.
I make notice of this position. Go impressive. And then I go back to Ren.
Raynell looks at your group and he goes, this is gonna sound bad, but he kind of broke me out of a cell because he was the one next to me.
You know,
That's about right.
yeah, that fits.
Checks
Can I
out.
say nothing and just shoot?
As he's
while we
putting the
kind of
long
keep
sword
the air?
away. Like, Raynell, Hunter, was
God,
in a
it
building.
That was
Now I'm
loud.
here.
That sound.
That was very fucking loud. That's like a sound clip.
My bad.
But it was perfect timing, though.
Khan's over in the
snack
corner,
just smiles
snapping
back.
bones, looking for marrow to make bone soup.
Got to make sure all parts of John's body are strong.
God damn.
So,
Skip the heart though.
Yeah, me and my damn appetite.
So they had just to collect what's on the map. They basically got to their top pink bubble on the mirror map is when they get to the garage shop, basically.
yeah.
Okay. So this becomes that. Come here.
Come here.
No,
over
you
here.
stupid. I only want this to be destroyed, not
Stay
the
over
arrow.
there.
You fucking donut.
What up?
Not you,
Fucking
stupid.
donut.
Fine, be that way.
Alrighty, keep going. I'm gonna sort this out.
I mean,
Alrighty.
you were talking to him, so.
So yeah.
Meanwhile,
so-
the rest of you, what are you doing at the moment? And while he sorts it out.
Does my
I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
Ren what's back that way, what from whence they came, just to have that
Mm.
kind of clarified, because I don't trust Gilgamesh to tell me anything productive right
Guard
now.
room.
Fucking totodile at you, by the way.
actually
Yeah.
as they do this, I just lean into the steering wheel. I don't know if it has a function.
While they're talking, I'm gonna
Doesn't
use
have
my
a horn.
crowbar and try to get
Oh, does
more
that work?
panels.
Okay.
All right, hold on. You got overlap there. What were you saying?
Near him.
He's like leaning against the steering wheel. There's no horn. I covered that. You're doing what now?
While they're doing that, I'm gonna try and take more panels with my crowbar.
I mean, all the ones in here are big. You have to go back down that hallway.
I'm gonna look at Tom's character and be like, "Help me."
I'll walk over and pick Totodile up, put him in my backpack.
Hold up.
All right.
Yeah.
See?
So
I'm gonna hand him my crowbar.
So
I'll
this,
try the panel.
So this room, is it just a flat floor, or does it ramp up to that hallway?
Well, where you're at right now, going towards the front of the ship, it doesn't. It's flat straight out from this point. There's a ramp that goes up back to that main hallway from before,
Okay.
but not quite big enough to fit the truck. It narrows in over there.
Damn it.
How much of a strength check does Tom have to do to pull that panel off the side, or whichever panel is like the heaviest one?
I mean, it's a 20-foot by 20-foot metal panel. It's massive, and yeah, you can try.
Yeah, but he's a monk. I believe in him.
Get that nat 20 out of the way now.
Is there anything I can do to help him? Give me 1 second if you need some traits.
Do what?
I'm just trying to see if I can like pat or help him in any way. 1 second. Weirdly enough, no. Hold on. Spells. God, I am not a helpful person. All right, this is on you, Tom.
I mean, I don't think they're going anywhere, my guy.
I believe you got the strength to do this.
I mean, you can always try.
Oh, sure, I'll give it a shot. What is it, a strength
Strength
check?
check. Yeah.
You're a monk. You're strong. You got this.
Alrighty, I'm gonna.
14.
Nope.
I am heading back to at least see how the. I'm gonna assume Ember's been building
So-
this thing all by themselves to get up to the catwalk.
That's,
I mean,
God damn it.
kind of at this point. We're just stacking crates, building like our own little like ladder, like Mario type ladder type thing at the end of the level.
She's
Yeah.
playing Fortnite over here.
No, a full
Yep.
set of stairs. Exactly what you wanted.
So, while that's going on, he looks at you and says, "There's a T intersection back that way, and then beyond that, if you go straight, there's a guard room that leads to the cells with doors going out towards the port and starboard. I think,
Nice.
based on information that Gilgamesh has spoken of."
In common, by the way, so you can all understand me.
I preferred when you just said Totodile.
Fucking Totodile.
That makes two of us, John.
What was that little tiny jump in the well?
High five, meat man.
I'm gonna jump up and give him a high five. Do I need to do an athletic step?
I go to high five Raspberry and just Frank jumps in between.
Heads up! I got a 15 on my athletic check, so whatever I did, it should be pretty dope.
You think that
Alrighty.
steak would go good with raspberry sauce?
God damn it!
I did get raspberry schnapps recently. Anyway,
It tasted delicious.
we haven't opened the bottle yet, Frank.
It tasted delicious.
God damn it. Alrighty. I'm going to proceed to climb on up to get to that catwalk and test that hatch.
All right. So when you climb up to the second, like the catwalk area and stuff like that, it does eventually lead to two bulkheads headed towards the front of the ship. At this point, Ember, you'd be up there already since you built it. Wrath will come up behind you. Seeing you guys headed up there at this point, he's gonna just follow the party, thinking y'all know how to get out of here. So
I've been chilling the Ranger shoulder.
Thinking being the operative word.
We've all
I
made
mean, no
mistakes.
one's told him anything to the opposite yet. His deal with Gilgamesh was to get the hell out of here and work together. So
Has
Yep,
anyone
I-
been here longer than us?
I'm going to ask him, how did you get here?
Right.
I was in a ruins. I found some stuff, hit some buttons. It didn't go well.
I'm gonna look down and be like, "That sounds like us, but in draconic."
Did you get kidnapped and brought here?
No. I remember standing in the ruins. There was this weird panel thing. I had buttons on it, so I pushed one of the buttons, and next thing I know, I'm waking up in a cell who decides that apparently magic likes to come back at you.
God, that's a move I would do. Hold on.
Okay. Strange.
All right.
What's through the hatch?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, we're going through the hatch right now, right? Like,
All right. So you're headed up to the bulkhead and stuff, trying to open it. Much like almost every door in this place, it's got the keypad. It is sealed.
Hey, can I pull my crowbar and try to help?
You go up the crates and
I toss him up there so he doesn't have to climb.
all right. Go
Yo,
ahead
he
and make
he's
a
got my back.
strength or dexterity throw.
Let's do a dexterity throw. Why not?
Well, it's my throw.
Yeah.
What's lower at this point?
Mm.
Just kidding. Strength. 17.
All right.
Yo,
So, like a professional football player in the NFL, you kind of look up, point with one hand, cock, and then just launch his ass. And he
Nice.
poop, 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 as he just kind of lands and skips along trying to catch himself.
And then I proceed to climb up after.
yo, I'm the
Alright.
best Pokemon ever. What do I need to do to open this bitch, though?
So, all of you guys are up there at this point. Again, the
I like
door's
think
sealed.
I like think I've already started trying because it's one
Yeah.
hatch on the catwalk, right?
On this side, yeah. It does loop around and go to the other side, whereas there's another one.
There's another one. Okay.
Yeah, but they're
Right.
both headed the same direction.
If he started
Okay.
opening it, I should be able to get strength with advantage.
So, at this point, you're trying to pry it open physically, or are you trying to mess with the panel? What aspect
I'm
are
just
you
gonna try
trying?
to open it. Just want to have just standard try to open it. Let's.
I mean,
I'm gonna run up and punch the panel while he tries to open the door.
Um,
Seems to work so
Can I-
far.
can I try to collect the panel that falls off when he punches it? I need
I
those.
mean, make a strength check from your side so I can see how badly you hit this panel. You're prying on it. Give me a strength check because
6.
you're prying
I
on it at the same
slipped.
time. Wrath.
Hey, you
Yeah,
can
it's
always
been
bargain that. Don't be a pussy.
Strength check. 19.
Okay.
Nice.
So you walk up, you smash that panel, and the keys break a little bit, but they don't dislodge or nothing happens, and you're like, oh, shit. And then
You know what?
Wrath flexes real hard, starts pulling, and the muscles and veins start pulling, and it pops loose.
Can I do it if
No
I
pressurization on this.
Can I do it if I to try and collect it? Or the panel that is ripped off?
He's not ripping off a panel, he's opening a door.
Oh. No metal chunks or anything?
No, he just
Fuck.
pulled it open.
All right.
So, opens up. At this point in time, it's dark beyond. So if you don't have dark vision, you're not gonna be able to see much.
Yo, what up?
But for those
I've
who do
had my
have dark
torch.
vision,
I've had my torch this whole time. By the way, I checked notes. Like I've had the torch
Did
this
you?
whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then
You
you
know
yeah,
what?
you're good.
I've had my dumb fucking eyes. That's what I've had the whole time.
Yeah, dark vision, it's great. So as you bring the torch into the room and stuff that you've opened up, it is a much larger area than most of the other rooms you've entered this way. It's about 25 to 30 feet across, 12 foot to the ceiling. There are multiple like stations with different like panels and control panels and things like that around the room. There is one that kind of looks out into the garage area where you're at. It is see-through on this side, but it looks like sheer metal on the other.
Okay. And so this just seems like a control room for the garage. Or
I mean, there's a lot of panels in here for what amounts to that garage room. So it may be more than, you're not sure.
I'd be able to do an investigation check or a check to figure out what they do.
we've gone upstairs with this, right? We've
I mean,
gone
you
up
can
a
make an
level.
investigation check. Yeah, you're up a floor technically.
Yeah.
I got a
between.
12.
So 12 on the investigation check for you.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Investigation check.
Tom.
Nat 1.
4.
Wrath is like, what the hell? 4 for you. You're like, what the hell?
What the panels do?
What the panels do.
I'll go ahead and roll an investigation
Just
check.
say it would help if
Just
everyone
for-
did it. Just to
just
see.
for Wrath.
Yeah.
All right.
15.
Okay. So Gilgamesh and Ember, you guys are walking around and you kind of looking at the panels and stuff, and you kind of like, out of curiosity, just press a couple buttons here and there. And after a while, you hit a few things around the room, and then eventually the center area starts to light up. And once you do, this display in the center starts to come alive. There is a
This is
I would
inside
say-
this panel room, right? This
Yeah.
control room, whatever it is.
Yeah, in the center of the
Okay.
room, it starts to light up. And once it does, you see a man in probably late 50s. Can't tell his height because it's just like chest up, kind of like Discord.
Mhm.
But he's talking in a language you can kind of make sense of bits and pieces, you and Gilgamesh in particularly. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check that. Yes, and yes, but for different reasons.
That already gives me a clue
So-
what the language is.
Yeah, you can catch bits of it, but it's a amalgamation kind of thing almost. So like you're catching bits of what sound like draconic almost. Meanwhile, Ember, you're catching parts of it that sounds Sylvan. It's weird.
If we were to communicate the differences, would we be able to figure out like the full sentence, or is that not enough?
If you guys work together on it, like putting together what he's saying, because it does seem to repeat after about a minute and a half. You could put together what he's saying if you work together on it. With that case, if you guys want to work on it, either one of you can make an intelligence check with advantage, or each of you can roll your own intelligence check.
Melanie, what do you want to do for this? Because my intelligence gets a +1.
3.
+3.
I'll give you advantage because my intelligence was only a +1.
All right, let's roll that. Hold on. I got a 12. Is it enough? Yes.
Did you roll twice with
Oh,
advantage?
I have to roll twice with advantage. Hold on.
Yeah.
Roll second time.
Oh wait, no, that was with advantage. Yeah, he did it right. That was with advantage. So you put the pieces together, what she can translate to common, what you can translate to common. And when you guys are sitting there like writing it out, because there's plenty of papers and stuff lying around, you just pick up one, grab one of your stuff out of your bags and start writing it out. The pieces you can catch. When you put it all together, you're able to translate it. I'm assuming one of you guys end up reading this off to the group that is
Yeah.
assembled at the moment.
I'll use it. I'll use common for like the second time.
Okay. So that being the case, the message is on a repeat cycle. Containment was breached. Experiments X01 through X09 got loose. Containment fields malfunctioned. We've hit some kind of jet stream. And some stuff that didn't make sense to you guys. And then it gets to, hang on, let me double check this.
Yo, what the fuck did we do?
We've done nothing.
Okay.
We're discovering what happened with this ship.
We're fucking around, and now we're about
Between
to
the
find
jet
out.
stream and them getting loose, we've saw land. We're trying to set down. We're losing systems. They've broken through the maintenance ducts and tunnels. They're getting around. We've lost half our crew already. I can't find the captain. I can't find the officers. Pod rooms are sealing up. Please advise. Please advise. And then it goes back. Then repeats again.
Woof.
This is almost like verbatim out of No Man's Sky.
Somehow I thought this was Tom's fault.
Probably. I am white.
The look on your face, Mom.
So that's what you guys are able to translate.
Sounds like something's in here that I don't know if we want to fuck with or not.
That's what it sounds like to me too.
I look at both of them. Fucking Totodile.
I
At
can
this
run
point,
it over.
Raynell will kind of chime in at this point. He goes, well, something grabbed your little buddy there. He hit it with an Eldritch Blast, I think, and it took off running this way. We were trying to chase it down because we figured, if it's in here and it's trying to grab him, it probably wants to eat us. So we're going to try to kill it before it kills us.
I'm gonna
Then
jump
we run
up.
into you. So
I'm not gonna say anything verbally. I'm just gonna jump up in excitement at the Ranger and be like, I can Eldritch Blast it like 30 more times.
Good.
So
We
it
might
sounds
need
like
it.
we should be. Sounds like we should be prepared for a hunt.
Dude, I'm a weapon.
Honestly-
Just pick me up and equip me.
We heard it moving around, but we didn't
Mhm.
know where it was at first. But it got close to us before we realized it, so I'm not quite sure if we're hunting it or it's hunting us.
If I
There
use
wasn't-
a perception check, can I try to smell it out?
There was nothing in that message that denoted, because it sounds like there's 8 total experiments, which may or may not be what grabbed Gilgamesh. Was there anything in that message that actually denoted, like, if there's any of those experiments got killed, or are we just gonna have to?
I mean, nothing from that message so far.
Yeah.
When you guys shot it, did you hear anything? Any screams or anything?
Yeah, it
Of
screeched
pain?
loud.
Okay.
I
Sounds
don't
like
know
you
if he
actually
hit it.
heard it.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
he
scared
fired
it.
off another one and it screeched again, but tried to shoot it, but my bow broke. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get a good sight on it. I couldn't see what it was or what it looked like. I just know it was beneath us during those like graded hallways.
Hmm.
Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and give him my longbow. Does his arrows only fit for a regular sized bow, or
And no, he pulls
arrows
it
are
up.
arrows?
He has no quiver on him whatsoever. But when you hand him the bow, he reaches up, pulls it back, and you see just light form as an arrow, and he's like, "Yeah, this will do." And he lets it go like back to normal, and then it disappears.
Oh, okay. So you can just put in. Alrighty. I'm just gonna de-equip that for me for right now.
Okay. I'll mark that on his normal longbow.
If you can make arrows, why don't you just make a bow?
Well, I'm not technically making arrows, and he kind of holds up his glove, and this is.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I'm just gonna chill on the Ranger shoulder.
Alrighty. Is there anywhere outside of this this control room, this panel room? It just goes down into the garage.
Beforehand,
It does have one hatch leaded towards the bow again.
if I pull out my crowbar, any of these panels like easily dismiss or able to like be jacked off or. God, that's not bad. Worse than I thought it would come out, but
they're definitely smaller than the one you pried off previously in here. But there are a few that you could probably pry loose.
all right, I'm gonna use my crowbar.
Right,
Handy dandy.
Go ahead and make your strength check.
This is a test because I have no strength.
Raynell at this point will kind of pipe
Hey,
up. And he's like,
I got a 20.
all right,
yeah.
So you get another panel. This one's should be like 12 by 12 by a half.
Dope. I put that in my backpack, and then climb back up on the Ranger shoulders.
He's like, are we opposed to hitting more buttons? Because it seemed like y'all hit buttons and this came on.
I'm gonna tell him to hit more buttons.
What happened last time you hit a button?
I'm gonna go ahead and hit. I'm gonna go ahead and hit some
Door
buttons.
opened.
When he did? Okay. Fair.
I'm gonna hit some
What is
buttons.
the one that... All right. So go ahead and make another investigation check in that regard. For those who want to.
That was
Can I assist him
That was
with
a
his
6.
investigation?
7. We're all rolling it.
Okay.
I mean, you can all roll, yeah.
14.
I got a 11. Woof.
What am I rolling for? Investigation?
Yeah, investigation.
Yeah, if you come up and join them, go ahead and roll it. If not, you're sitting in your truck.
14.
All right.
Wait, this guy has a truck?
That's what he was sitting in with the lights downstairs.
Yo, dude, I thought he was a cook. Why is he coming here with a Toyota Taco?
This is my taco truck. What you talking about?
So
Toyota Taco.
They still haven't thought about how we're gonna get that thing out of here.
How?
We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
So
I believe.
Anyone get below a 5?
No, I got wait, what did I get?
I got a 6.
No,
I got a 7.
we summoned Scooby Doo. He helped us out. I got an 11.
11?
7.
Did you hear my 15?
15.
You just had to get above a 4, above whatever he was saying.
Yeah, anyone get below 5?
Yeah.
Essentially.
No, dude, we whipped up on the mystery machine. We got this.
So you're good. For those who got above 15, you're able to like hit some buttons and things like that, and a few more of the panels do end up coming on eventually. But these are more texts and formats and things of that nature. And assuming you're spending the time to decipher them again with Gilgamesh and Ember, I'm not gonna make you roll for this one. It's just time. So about 20 minutes, you're able to decipher all the stuff on the screens. One of them is a damage report. Forward sections collapsed from decks 11 to 3.
Or images
Engines
from decks 11 to 3.
Forward sections collapsed from deck 11 to 3. Engines offline. Teleportation offline. Shielding offline. You portside guns functional. Not enough energy to supply for secondary firing. Yeah, starboard side guns inoperable. Hatchery. Hang on, let me double check this.
It sounds like a ship doesn't work with extra stubs.
Hatchery and lockdown.
Hatchery.
Yeah. And that's what it says. That might be where these experiments came from.
Hatchery and lockdown. What though?
So that's from one of them.
Mhm.
Wait, but it didn't say anything about the hatchery or lockdown. It was just blank. Was that
This is
intentional?
hatchery.
The hatchery
dash
is in
lockdown.
lockdown.
Yeah. Another one says Titan Chimera experimentation,
Oh.
Series X, test subjects 1 through 9 viable,
Woof.
10 through 23 non-start, and 24 through 50 failed to conceive.
Do I have any historical knowledge of Titan chimeras?
Trying to think.
I'm rather well traveled, being in the military and all that. By the way,
This
those things are
was-
fucking ugly.
Honestly,
Way
I'd like to do
before.
a history check too because
Although
I'm relatively
This
intelligent
is-
for my pea brain.
this is way far back time. I will
I
say
mean, like
though,
lore or anything.
no, this was different. But Ember, you would get a history check.
Wait, can I do a history check?
No, it's part of her backstory stuff.
It's gonna be a 21.
Nice,
God damn.
nice.
Critical.
I actually got a 20.
Critical strike.
So, do you remember when you were where you were from previously, studying there and stuff like that at the special library there? Going through one of the ancient Alteran books that was found and recovered from one of the ruins, discussing that after the Titan Wars, that several different nations tried to experiment with combining the liquefied Titan's blood with different creatures and different ways and crossbreeding creatures to create a stronger, more stable war machine almost, but not quite a machine. It was more bio. Most of which kind of ended up in no results whatsoever from the records they could find. But there is reference to the Chimera project at one point that a particular branch of Dragon Riders attempted from their ship.
Okay, I'm gonna communicate that information to the rest of the group.
Okay.
I wonder if that's this ship. This sounds like a lot. We should kill it.
Seems like we should either kill all of them because it's
I feel like it would be safer for us to do so.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
just
Not
gonna
sure we want something so unstable still around.
I'm going to nod in a really retarded fashion and just Eldritch Blast into the ceiling.
Okay.
it would appear Gilgamesh is ready for a fight.
Hee haw, hee haw.
Can we actually pull out this? Can this room? Well, have we figured out any combination with these, or can we get a schematic of the ship, like a visualization of the ship, so we actually can
1
map a trajectory?
second on that. Alia and Ember, as you guys are kind of going over this information and like pulling this stuff on the screen and like Gilgamesh and Ember translating stuff and things like that. And you see Raynell kind of standing there, but you kind of both catch it out of the corner of your eye. He's reading the lines.
Reading.
Like he's not like you each one of you kind of looked at the screen and
He's
looked at
not
what was there.
translating, he's reading.
He's not translating, he's reading it.
In other words, he knows what the fuck this is, and he said nothing. I'm gonna nudge him on the shoulder, like, please help, and Draconic.
Well, I think Alia and Ember catch him doing it. That's the thing at the moment.
Oh,
So I
I
gotta see what they do first before I can do anything else.
oh
I
god.
I tap him on the shoulder. It's like, Hey, you gonna tell us what that says?
I'm gonna share with the rest of the class.
At that point, he looks over at you for a second. I don't know what you mean.
What do you mean? What does that document say?
I'm gonna pipe
mean-
up and say, I can tell you're reading. What does it say?
I'm gonna pull my pistol out. I'm gonna put that motherfucker at the back of his head. Pull the hammer back. It's like, what does it say?
Melanie,
All right.
can you pick my character up and shove my snout in his face and be like, what does it say?
Ren, don't make me regret giving you that bow.
So, as you like pull the revolver out and you put it to his head, you cock the hammer back. You see his hand come around immediately the second the hammer goes back, grabs it. His pinky goes between the hammer and the cylinder. And you see his eyes flare for a second and go completely brass colored with a snake serpent slit.
Does that just mean like he's better with a gun, or like what's the deal?
And as you're like holding it and trying to move, his arm isn't moving. Like it feels like you're tugging against a mountain.
You know what? I'm gonna chill on his shoulder and pretend none of this is happening. I'm a good boy.
I think everybody needs to calm down.
I agree.
I feel like there should be more guns, but it's just me.
No.
Elia?
What the? Shut up. What the fuck does that document say? That's what I want to
Aaron,
know.
shut up. I have more guns. Shut up.
So I'm going. Do I notice his eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I notice his eyes, and I'm gonna call out my dragon.
Okay. So your dragon comes out, and the second it does, it like comes up to you for a second, like nuzzles up against you like it normally does. And as it turns and sees the eyes, it immediately bows its head.
Bitch.
Fuck.
And then raises back up slowly as he looks over and goes, "You're a writer?"
I am. It's a rather recent development in the last few months, but yes.
Yo. I'm glad you finally pulled that dragon out of your lunchbox.
Okay.
You gonna eat that?
Not right now, John. Not right now.
He kind of gives John a pointed look for a second, then looks back over at you and your dragon for a second. He goes, he looks at you, moves the gun away from his head at this point, pulls his pinky out, and takes his hand off of it. He goes, "My apologies. I didn't realize you were with the Corps."
My apologies, sir.
So you were gonna fuck us over if we weren't.
In this moment, honestly,
So-
yes, I was going to rip you to pieces. But not in the grand scheme of things. Once we got out of here, we would have gone our separate ways. Although, once weapons got involved, yes, I was planning on decorating this room with you.
What were you actually here for? Looks like you're more here for information than anything else.
That part was honest. I accidentally ended up here. I was messing around with an ancient ruin. I thought I understood. Hit a button I shouldn't have and ended up here.
So
That's not real
but
smart for being as old
where-
and wise as you seem to be.
To be fair, this wasn't my ship. It was the little ones, and he was an ass.
the little ones.
He was what?
The
Garrett.
little Garrett? Glib?
His
Little
name is Garrick. He was a little
glib-
one, and he was an
glib-
ass.
Shut up. Glib Garrick?
Glim.
Glim
Him.
Garrick?
Yes.
Hmm.
Noble
was gonna
of
ask-
Ellis.
Yes. That house might actually still exist these days.
We're
It wouldn't
actually
surprise me, this slimy little shit.
Well done. How far away were the ruins from, well, in relation to Elistine, where were the ruins that you were investigating?
About 3 or 4 days on foot north of Skyhaven.
and when were you investigating them?
And he kind of thinks for a second. What year is it?
What
I'm gonna look over at the
gives
rest of the
current
party.
year?
Okay.
I'm going to try and
You guys
convince
give him the
him.
year, and he does the math for a second. He's, if my estimations are correct, 375 years.
Well done.
They are.
I'm going to actually give him that face, by the way.
Dragonborns
think-
have a long lifespan, don't they?
How does being Dragonborn
How
just give
do
you that
you
kind of
know?
Wait, but okay, above tabletop really quick. I don't think we've like it's not super clear that he's a dragonborn, right? Or did it become clear when I pulled out my dragon?
We don't know what the fuck he is.
Honestly, until the dragon bowed to him, nobody thought anything. He looked human.
Okay.
Right, and even
Yeah.
that's not enough
But
to
the
determine what
dragon
it is.
bowing to him would give an indicator to
Yeah.
the rest of the party.
I also
Okay.
like to think our passive like perception would have at least prompted like Chris to be
Yeah.
like, by the way, he has scales on his face.
Yeah.
No, he looks human.
I
Yeah,
know.
he's human, but
I'm pointing out our passive perception would have prompted Chris to inform us of
Look.
that if it was there.
Look,
yeah,
We
the
don't know
15
what it
passive
is.
perception caught him reading, and
Yeah.
beyond that, the eye change was obvious.
and here's the
Yeah.
thing, right? We don't know what it is, but my retarded ass is like totally like, oh, I'm behaving myself around this person. That should tell you everything you need to know.
I don't know if that would be considered low intelligence. I feel like that's smarter than what I did.
So you were saying this was Gim's ship several hundred years ago?
Glim Garrick,
Glim
he built
Garrick.
the ship. He built the ship initially. He built several of them, in fact.
Mhm.
One of them he gifted to the Dragon Corps, which, if I'm not mistaken, based on what you're saying, should be parked at Elistine seeking new recruits.
That
Hey,
actually
just out of curiosity,
registers.
did you know Sebastian when you
Oh.
were in
That's a
At-
terrible question.
At that name, there is an audible growl that is vibrating the room.
Can I try to pat his head to soothe his pain?
Where's the growl coming from?
Him.
Like,
Mm.
do I need to do like a charisma check? Like, how does that work to soothe that pain?
I'm aware of the being known as Sebastian.
I'm just saying, I'll roll animal handling.
I mean, I'll give you the attempt.
All right, let's go.
Roll animal handling. Let's see how you do.
Animal handling to grab his wiener.
God.
Because that calms
got
me
it.
down.
I got a 3. That should be a crit.
You pet him, and he just kind of turns and looks at you.
The fuck?
Dude,
then
I'm gonna
Shakes
shrug.
his head.
I'm gonna shrug and continue to do it.
Checks out.
Really sip that drink there, Chris. Sip it real deep.
Mhm.
I hope it's liquor.
What else do you know? Do you have any recollection of this ship in particular? Any other knowledge? Because it seems for 300 years you've only seen the inside of the cell that you were in.
Prison
Sadly,
section.
yes. Despite my disdain for the slimy little gnome, his capabilities with tinkering and magic were, well, quite adept.
Well, clearly, if he built this ship, let alone even just designed it.
Yeah, you got any dirt on him we can use?
The
Yeah.
Garricks? Where do you want to start? Demon summoning, theft of resources, general.
Oh,
no, I meant
robbery,
Sebastian.
extortion. Oh, on Sebastian?
He's a servant of the Garricks.
I'm gonna whisper in his ear in Draconic. I'm down to kill a halfling.
I know this. Get a chance and can cast banishment on him. He won't come back for a while.
May I ask if I could just like Eldritch blast him into deletion? Like, is that possible?
I don't know how strong you are, little one, but I doubt very seriously you would be able to do much to him with that.
Can I do an Eldritch blast, like not in his direction, but just in front of his eyes to try and prove it?
Go ahead. I got to roll for him on this.
What type of roll would I need to roll for that?
Performance.
No, just go ahead and make a
A hit
Eldritch
die.
Blast attack roll.
That was a lot less complex than I was thinking it was going to go. Hold on. I got a 9. God damn my rolls.
So you fire off the Eldritch Blast, and Eldritch Blast, from your guys' experience and seeing, Gilgamesh cast this thing, it moves quick. But as it starts to go off, it gets to his nose when his hand catches it and it just brushes the arcane energy to nothing.
I was gonna say, can I eat it at that point, or it's gone? What's in my
It
hand?
just dissipates.
God, my rolls. All right, I'm done trying to be performative.
If I can do that, so can he.
Interesting. We found the antithesis to Sebastian, it would seem.
Fuck Sebastian.
Hmm.
You only say that
Yes.
because he tortured you and you don't remember it.
No,
Not that
no,
character.
no. That character's dead. I'm only
Oh.
saying that because he's not here.
My bad.
That's
It's
true.
different.
No, Sebastian is a unique being that Garrick's family has made a contract with, starting with Glim, and he was around for quite a while.
Hmm. Well, we're actually in contract via Sebastian to recover from this area what might be of House Garrick's.
I.e. the ship.
At best, the ship, but I actually have a sneaky suspicion they're looking for arbitrary valuables or maybe even these experiments.
I doubt that. I know what he's looking for.
What is he looking for?
He's
Yeah,
looking
see?
for what runs.
Shut the fuck up!
If this is what I think it is at this point, it's definitely what's the heart of this ship, what powers it. He wants the Arcanum crystal.
Do we get the schematics, by the way? Unless you have narrative, you want to finish up there.
For the ship?
Yeah, we were that's part of why we were trying to get a round of buttons. They're hoping in the second round of buttons to get a schematic of the ship, so we could
So
actually.
you can pull one up and you can find your way and stuff like that, but
Right.
I don't have them in a format I can put on here, sadly. So.
Yeah. As long as we have the relative knowledge to like beeline our way there. Granted, there's not obstacles.
I will say this.
Yeah, see?
Due to the factor that he wants it, I can't let him have it.
Hmm.
I don't think you are aware of what those are.
The Arcanum crystals.
Yes.
One actually powers our ship. We're pretty aware of what they are.
Do you know how they're made?
We
No,
were
but I'm
informed.
interested.
You should be very careful about how you phrase your answer next.
With that being the case, I'm not sure which dragon's soul powers the Arcanum crystal on this ship,
Oh, you done goofed.
but I aim to not let Sebastian get his hands on it.
Yeah, someone I can.
And that's fair.
I
So
think
I
we
can
can work
follow.
with that.
Yeah,
I
fuck
think-
Sebastian.
However,
I mean, if we bring back the husk of the ship and what powers it just happens to not be there.
I believe I can help you in that endeavor if need be. But if what these files are saying is true, there's an experiment loose on this ship that seems to have gone out of control. And
Yes.
we probably need to make sure that doesn't leave here.
Are we at the part where you're going to tell us what the files say?
No.
And he
No.
turns around, he looks up, pulls up one, he goes, this one's describing the damage to this ship. It seems that the front part of the ship when it landed, the shielding and arcane energy that supports it collapsed. So the decks between 11 all the way up to 3 on the front are destroyed. The hatchery is locked down. I'm not sure if that's a hatchery that I think it is, or if it's more of one that's for these creatures. I'm not sure, but I would like to investigate that if possible. The damages to the guns and things of that nature are inconsequential, to be honest with you. I don't think, at least from what I've knowledge of 375 years ago, weapon technology for airships has not improved much. So, with that being the case, I don't think these are really a loss. Beyond that, this file over here is describing the experiments they performed on these creatures. They took a chimera initially and then infused it in Titan's blood in the liquid format to try to enhance it. The chimera creatures was something that Garrick and his party bred with a combination of a fey creature, a dragon, and some other parts mixed in. So they're pretty resilient.
What's the plan?
Sounds tough.
So
I say our
For me-
first order of action is probably to hunt down the experiment so we can safely explore the rest of the ship.
that seems to be in order. I would like to check out the hatchery myself.
I'm
Should we
use
head
my
there first?
charisma to try and encourage the party to go for the hatchery.
And I would like to find the crystal for this place to secure it.
I'd like to explore the hatchery as well, but I worry that if we go straight to the hatchery, that whatever experiment is loose will follow us there and hurt anything that's potentially there still.
We can lay some traps. I have bear traps.
I'm the Eldritch Blast up in the air.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah, pretty much.
He looks at you guys for a second and goes, I will tell you this. If that hatchery is what I think it is, Miss, I didn't catch your name, but you are a part of the Corps, so you definitely could join me for this. And it would be well within your rights to enter the hatchery, if it's what I think it is.
I'm assuming there's thoughts of baby dragons.
I'm assuming it was this ship's repository, yes.
Sounds like we have our first stop to make.
Other than that, the creatures, if they are going to follow us there, sadly, I can't assume my natural form in this place, but I will do what I can in the form I can, as well as my friends. And he kind of, at this point, leans over and kind of whistles at the hood, and you see the pseudo dragon come out. And downstairs at this point, there's a Drake kind of pacing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring them with us as well. Beyond that, retrieving the Arcanum Crystal and getting it out of here would also be good. Once it's all out of here and we exit the ship, if your agreement is to bring back this husk of whatever's left, I will aid you in that endeavor since you are aiding me in mine.
Appreciated. Would appear we have an accord. Offers hand for shake.
Beyond that, he looks over you and goes, Little one, since you released me from the cell, I do believe compensation is order, and I promised that I would compensate you.
I'm going to jump up in a very excited motion.
And
What
seeing as how
up?
you were able to injure the creature when I wasn't, I think something of a boon is in order. And you see he transforms his hand partially, and you see these brass scales start to cover his arm all the way down, and his claws take shape, and he reaches his hand over and places on your head, and this energy flows into your body, and you start to glow for a second, and that glow gets bigger, larger, almost the same size as all of you at this point, aside from, I think, the Minotaur. And
Holy shit, is that a simp?
at this point, Frank, you can go ahead
Hold
and
on. Hold on. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good.
you can go ahead and make your racial change to a chromatic dragonborn.
All right. Cool. Hold on. Let me,
Wait,
Fix
he's
this.
a chromatic dragonborn kobold now?
Well, he's a chromatic dragonborn now. He's a blue dragonborn.
hold on. Change
So
magic.
he's no
here.
longer a kobold?
I've ascended. P is for perfect.
He has transformed. So
let me switch my picture.
on that note, we'll go ahead and take a quick
We could call it here.
interlude or whatever there, or we. Finish show.
And we're back. from
Hold on.
We're back
Fucking
from.
Totodile.
Alrighty. Now you actually have to have a deep voice while you're talking.
That's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try.
That's be like-
deepen his voice in the audio.
Totodile.
Fucking Totodile.
Holy
Boom.
shit, is that a simp?
On that note,
That is the audience catchphrase.
Is ready.
God
so
damn it.
yeah, you've transformed into a blue dragonborn.
Sup.
Boy.
At this point, his hand goes back to a normal one.
No, they're
He's
fists
like,
now.
all right.
Fists all the time.
I zip my backpack and hold out my bag of holding instead.
I'm just gonna try and climb into it for the fuck of it. Let's go.
I shut it before he gets to it because I know that he'll die inside.
You're a dragonborn that you still need to breathe. So, anywho,
But does he know that?
he's got a high intelligence now, so yes.
Yo, dude, I'm like the LeBron James of kobolds here, is what I'm at.
So, at this point, Raynell looks at the rest of you guys and goes, all right, so,
Did that max out my HP back to full or no?
yeah.
Okay, cool. We're good.
So, he's like, we have 3 objectives at this moment. One's the hatchery itself, one is retrieval of the Arcanum Crystal, and the final being the destruction of these experiments. So, since I'm the recent temporary addition to this group, how would you like to proceed?
I'm gonna look at him, just nod, and be like, Totodile.
Hold on. I think we can just head down to the hatchery to start. That might even be just a very easy way to find their nest and take them all out at once.
I'm for it.
I'm hoping that is not the case.
You guys are like taking them down. Like, are we supposed to be saving these eggs? Like, these are basically like this guy's children here, right? We're not just gonna crack them in front of him. Like, I'm down for it, but still.
I'm not.
It's one omelet you'll regret.
Look, I'm a hungry guy, but this guy's gonna fuck my ass. Like,
So, he's like, very well. And he goes to the door at the back of the room. Takes his hand, transforms it back into a claw, and pries under the setup and pulls the door loose. Make sure he can actually do that. Yeah. So he pries it open and pops it loose. And what the schematics say, hatchery should be this way. From what I've gathered thus far, I think the creatures are more towards the bottom of the ship. So they should be more of a problem when we go for the Arcanum Crystal, but less at the moment.
All right, let's go.
let's go, big boy.
So let's move along.
Yep,
You
I
guys-
follow him.
Start following through and stuff like that. Making your way down the hallways and stuff. More intentional in this regard. After you guys get to one of the first like intersections, it's a little bit wider and stuff like that. He raises his hand and you see this circle appear in the air, and you see this drake come through the circle, comes out and lands in front of him. And goes, guard the rear. And it goes behind the party to guard the backside. You guys make your way through a series of corridors, following the path that he's laid out, and you guys have seen through the schematics that you were able to pull up. You finally get to this series of hatches that go deeper in. And at which point he goes to the first one, he grabs the door frame, digs his nails and claws through it, and pries it open. Making sure he can do this again. Alright. So, yeah, he pries it open, pops the first one loose. Sadly, Miss Ember, I believe you're going to be required for the next one.
Okay.
All you're going to need to do is place your hand on the panel.
I'll go ahead and place my hand on the panel.
As you do, you feel the tattoo start to kind of like when it was branded, that same feeling kind of appears again. And you feel this energy flow from it and your like dragon and everything into your hand and into the panel, and the door cracks and opens up. And it reveals the third door, and this one is a standard bulkhead like the rest, but it's not made of the same material. And he walks forward and he taps on it and taps on it. Well, this is a bit of a problem.
Can I take my crowbar to whatever he's tapping on?
It's a big bulkhead door. It's your size now, but yeah, you can try.
I'll use my glamour muscles.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check.
This is unfortunate, but maybe it'll be cool.
I kind of want to persuade the door to open.
I got a 14. Does her persuasion help me if he persuades the door to give me what I want?
I'm gonna ask Ren what appears to be the problem.
Raynell looks at you and goes, I can't pry this door. It's made of the same material your armor is.
Yeah, but maybe Melanie can persuade it to open for her.
I mean, Melanie, go ahead and make your persuasion check.
Whisper sweet nothings at the door.
See what the number is first.
17.
Okay. What are you saying exactly?
I'm going to whisper sweet nothings into it, asking it to open so that we can protect the babies inside.
In all honesty, I thought you were going to call the door a pussy, and I
Okay.
appreciate that you didn't.
So you lean down towards the panel, and Gilgamesh has got the crowbar there. He's prying on that thing. It's not moving. And you kind of lean down and you whisper to it, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" Gotta get that tone going on. But weirdly enough, I think you.
Does the door start
I have to
lubricating itself? Tell me.
Hang on. Which language do you say it in?
Is door a language?
I'm going to say it in Sylvan.
Okay.
I was considering Dwarvish. I think I'm gonna say it in all languages. I'm just gonna cycle through them all.
So you say it in Sylvan first, nothing happens. You say it in Dwarvish, nothing happens. You say it in Common, nothing happens. And then you speak it in Thieves' Cant, which basically, in Thieves' Cant amounts to, "Sup, bitch."
It turns out she said it in Vietnamese, and the door gets wet and opens.
And it cracks open.
God damn it.
I'm very pleased with this number.
What did you say to it?
Raynell's got a finger in the air, and he's about to explain to you why he can't pry through that metal and stuff like that. And it cracks open, and he just like immediately shock-faced turn, looks over.
Appears they got it open.
Look, I just talked to it.
What did you say to it?
You don't need to worry about that.
Your character can understand Draconic, right?
I'm worried about it. No, it was Thieves' Cant that got it open.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to Melanie's character in Draconic. Like, how did you make it, Dret? Tell me.
Color of the inside.
We're about to find out.
What?
Tom, you know you disappeared, right?
Yeah. I can still hear it.
What did the door smell like? How did it taste?
So at this point, Raynell will walk quite rapidly towards the front of the group and like pull the door completely open and walk in. And it's where he's had a very serious demeanor this whole time.
Mhm.
It is replaced entirely with just happy.
Kid in a candy shop.
Like he is smiling from ear to ear, ecstatic. And as he's looking around the space interior, and you guys can kind of see him through the doorway at the moment. As he turns, he stops, and his entire expression drops to just utter hatred for a moment.
God, it sounds like there's dead babies over this room or something.
No.
No, it sounds like there's torture machinery or chains or something of
No.
this sort.
Sensing a betrayal.
So at this point, are y'all entering the room?
I'm going to walk in and turn around to see what he's looking at.
Fucking, I'm gonna walk
So-
in there, abs flexed, like,
As you guys start to walk in, there are little alcoves that are set up and padded and protected extensively, holding dozens and dozens of these metallic variation of color eggs.
Oh, wow.
And there are 4 that aren't. One is black, one is red, one is green, and one is white.
These are all the colors of the eggs?
There are 4 eggs that are not metallic. And those are the ones he's currently staring at.
can I immediately run to grab the black one and put it in my inventory?
I mean, are you just blatantly grabbing it and throwing it in your inventory?
God, yes.
Okay.
He has abs now.
It's gonna help me ascend to godhood.
Okay, so you take the black dragon egg. You can add that to your like written in inventory.
Oh, cool.
So under your
That
notes.
was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be pain and suffering involved.
I mean, he's kind of in a state of what the fuck at the moment. So, I mean, I'm not even sure he would register it.
I'm going to nudge him and ask him what's wrong, because I don't know if I
Yeah.
would know.
They shouldn't be here.
They?
Those, and at this point, he realized one's gone missing. He's like,
I'm going to point to the now Dragonborn.
You bitch.
he looks at you for a second and goes, at least it's not with them.
Look, I was ascended for a reason, motherfucker, and you tried to rat
What?
my ass out.
The chromatics do not belong in the same place as the metallics. They are
Base.
quite literally the mortal enemies of metallic dragons.
It's kind of racist, buddy.
I was going to say, racism is alive and well in D&D.
Are you saying they shouldn't be in the same nesting area?
They shouldn't be here, period.
Like, can I just
No.
start grabbing the rest of the eggs at that point?
I mean, you grabbed one at this point and you're stuffing it in your bag of holding, I'm assuming, or whatever you're doing with it.
Fuck it. You know what? I'll just grab the other eggs too. I don't know.
Hang on here, I gotta see what everybody else is doing because everybody's kind of come in at this point.
I'm just kind of
So-
watching him do that.
You're watching it. Wrath, what are you doing?
I'm exploring. I'm investigating the rest of the room just to see if there's other entrances, exits, and
All right,
anything of interest.
make an investigation check. Ember's talking. You're just listening to the conversation at the moment?
18.
I'll investigate too.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
To 19.
Wow, okay. So 18 and 19, if I heard
Yeah.
that right? All
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, Aaron, you're looking around at the eggs and stuff like that, and just out of like fascination of the space and the room and stuff like that, you're kind of touching the alcoves a little bit, and you cut back around to where the ones are that there are the chromatics. And as your hand kind of grazes over the red, the egg shifts. And you see a small little crack form.
You're getting a new dragon, baby!
Thanks, hon.
Man, I really
Now-
hope I don't have to smash that one too.
You're gonna eat that.
You gonna
With
eat
that
that?
being said, Tom,
hmm
you got 100%. And on that note, take your pick of any metallic color you want.
Can I have a second? Because I know nothing about this.
So green, or it's gold, silver, bronze, brass,
Chris,
iron, cobalt.
just send him the metallic list that you sent me so he understands like what their properties are.
When did I send that to you?
It was in
That's
like the list
I
of
thought you said it was a choice of. Oh, you said metallic, not chromatic.
yeah,
Okay,
but
Yeah.
they each one has like their own separate properties, so it's kind of hard to make a choice without
Yeah.
looking at it.
I mean, you can pull that one up. It's a wiki thing on that one. They're easier to find that way usually. Because they normally have like the dragon and its element right next to it.
Remind me how you spell this guy, Ren's name.
So it's what the gold, black, or gold, bronze, copper, all that.
Yep.
Yeah. Iron and
Okay.
cobalt as well. For this, it's spelled Raynell is the name he gave you. Raynell.
Okay, I've been doing Ren this whole time. Raynell. Okay, so Ray. Okay.
He'll answer to either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not his actual name, so he just kind of assumes when you're talking to him that's him.
Man, it really sucks that we have this ally that won't stop lying to us.
Who said he was an ally? He's just
Look, dude,
Temporary, at least.
he
Yeah.
literally blessed me with a 6-pack in godhood. So like,
you've been paid back already. That's it.
yeah,
That was
he made me like he's an ally. He turned me into a gigachad. Like, what do I want?
You consider him an ally. I don't know if that reverse is the same.
Bro, dude, I was a kobold. What do you think I did for dragons before? Answer
Stuff
me
can't be
that.
said on YouTube.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
I'm gonna take a silver.
Okay.
I gotta
So,
add that in
as
D&D
you're
beyond.
as you're moving around and stuff like that, you basically get to one of the alcoves that houses a silver egg, and as you pass close to it, absentmindedly, much like Wrath was, you end up touching the area, and one of the eggs starts to move.
Okay. What do I put that in?
For the
Other?
moment, it would be just I can't remember the category now. So if you look for your action spells and stuff like that, go under notes. It would be under the the other category would work. That's where I usually do it.
Other.
And you have a silver dragon egg at the moment.
Actually, that should be interesting.
Wait, where's the notes? Oh,
So-
notes.
With that being the case, Alia, what are you doing? Elia.
So what's the room look like again?
The big
It's
ass
a hex-
hatchery.
It's a hexagonal shape. It's quite a large space at the center. There's little alcoves all along the wall. Some of them are empty, but there are dozens and dozens of eggs in here. They're all
Dragon
dragon
egg?
eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. They're all stored in here, and then there's now. I'm assuming Wrath grabbed the red egg,
Yeah.
and a black egg has been taken. But there are
Emphasis on taken.
a white,
Yeah.
a green egg, and then basically every variation of chromatic or metallic.
I'll take the green egg.
All right.
Green dragon egg, is it?
Yeah.
Let me see.
So as you pick it up out of the alcove and stuff like that, you do feel it shift.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, there's no egg option.
God, Frank.
No, it's not an item. I would just write it under notes for now. Eventually,
Yeah.
when you're able to hatch it, you will be able to put
Mhm.
that under your extras area as a
Right,
hatchling.
right.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Notes.
But at this point and stuff like that, he looks at the rest of you for a second, looks down at the white egg. I'm assuming none of you want to take this.
I'm just going. I'll take it.
He looks at you, then grab it.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab the secondary egg.
All right. So add a white dragon egg to your inventory.
So, weird question. It doesn't appear to be in the D&D Beyond inventory slots for black or white dragon eggs.
No, you
Just add it to your notes, bud. We went over this.
yeah.
Just
Notes
now.
under the other category for the time being. Once you guys have kind of like checked out, and some of them have responded to you, the ones that respond that are metallic and stuff like that, he'll nod with approval in that regard. But the chromatics that kind of respond, he kind of looks at you a little bit for a second, and kind of shakes his head. But whatever, at least he doesn't have to deal with them. And the rest of the eggs, he will then proceed to start packing away into his bag. So he's like, thank God this is what I thought it was. Had it been the other option, honestly, I would have, well, destroyed this room. Made it easier. But
That's fucked up.
you want more of those creatures that grabbed you running around? I don't.
Just gonna look down at the floor and hold these eggs and just like grasp them firmly.
Okay. Was there any other entrances or exits out of this room? I know we had the map and everything, but
I mean, at this point, he's basically taking the time to collect the eggs and stuff. But no, the room is definitely sealed up, much like a vault. There's only one way in or out of here, and those 3 doors are barring the entry to it. So it is definitely a protected space, and map-wise, it would be located at the very center of the ship.
right. Center base. So there's 4 doors in here, or just like a 3-door system to get in through the one entrance?
Well, no, it's a one singular hallway, but it has 3 separate bulkheads that are open differently to get into it.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So he's like, well, as he's packing away the last couple eggs, he's like, I'm done in this room at least. If you wish to continue, we can, and get the Arcanum crystal and deal with these pests, hopefully, along the way.
Yeah, you did say you'd help us if we helped you.
Yep. Well, I guess next, for the easiest thing to find would be the Arcanum crystal.
Once I acquire that and we get out of here, I'll help you excavate the ship from the ground.
Much appreciated. We are gonna have to figure out how we want to hunt or trap or bait these things.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna let's make our way to the crystal.
Okay. So you got a pretty good look at the map, so you kind of know where you're headed and stuff like that. For point of reference, on your map that we were working on, where the cannons are,
where the cannons that we shot at were.
Yeah, that had a hallway going towards the ass end of the ship that loops back around towards, like, through some hatchways and stuff like that towards the center line, and then goes towards the rear of the ship where the engine room's located.
Right, the back engine room. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of seeing. I think I see what you're talking about.
So, yeah, as you're backtracking around the pass and stuff like that, you do get back to that main garage area and stuff like that. And the truck's still there, lights are on and everything like that. But you guys are like at the car.
Would you like to put that in your bag of holding so you can have your wagon for later? Alaya.
What?
Would you like to put the wagon with lights in your bag of holding for later?
How is that going to fit in my fucking bag of holding?
That's the point. Moving on.
No. Before you scream at me with a stupid question like that, just remember, I will shoot you.
In all fair, I'm not gonna raise my totodile hand. In all fairness, he does have gun.
Proceed. Proceed on the backtrack.
Raynell kind of sits there for a second. You know they shrink, right?
What?
Who looks stupid now?
I'll still shoot you, motherfucker.
He kind of walks over, leans over into the driver thing,
Do
and
it.
hits one of the buttons, and the thing just kind of crunch, crunch, crunch down.
Oh.
It looks like a 3 foot by 3 foot block now with wheels mounted to the sides.
Yeah, okay. Well, I will put that in my bag of holding.
I think this is the only one. He kind of gives a look around a little bit. Yeah, I think this is the only one that's still going to be operational.
Should I add that in my extras?
I haven't added to the system, so it won't work there, but
Hey.
make it a note.
Halo Warthog, no turret attached.
Yeah, no Gatlin.
Okay.
So, but at this point, you guys get to back to that room, and you realize that this is where the lieutenant and the two, the other 4 crewmen that he brought are. They've stayed in here,
Mm.
kind of checking out what's going on, what's here, and slightly making an inventory as Raynell comes back with you guys and hits the button and turns it back to a small thing. And they're all like, drilling over it, and they kind of look at you as well. Did you find anything useful? You've been gone for about 10 minutes.
Not a few things. It's been a fruitful venture. But be on your guard. We have creatures that need to get hunted.
I was going to mention that there's been some sounds from the direction we came from initially that don't sound friendly.
They give him a thumbs up and be like, Tordadaro.
Well, if we're done here and don't need to explore further through the decks, I'll let the hunters know and we can be on our way, or
We need to
We
kill
have one
these.
last item to find before we can take care of the creatures and leave.
Yes.
okay. Should we send the hunters back then to gather people to excavate, or how are we
If
getting this out of
they'd like to join in a once in a lifetime hunt, have them join us. Actually,
Okay. Okay. Yes, Captain. And he kind of goes with the crew members with you guys until you guys get to the stairwell in the cannon area to
Mhm.
elevate back up. And after about 30 seconds, 6 hunters start coming down the stairwell, landing at the bottom, looking at you guys. We're hunting something with smiles.
yes, there are. Was it 1 to 9? So it's 8, right? I'm doing that math right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are 8 chimera that are of a very special breeding that were done on this ship. For all we know, they're exceptionally dangerous, and they are to be found and killed. It is not in our purview to capture any of them. Ray, do you have anything you'd like to add to these men?
Based on what I saw, be careful. Their adaptation from the blood of the Titans could be varied. They could be stronger, hardier, faster, smarter. Don't
Yeah.
underestimate them.
Yeah. Actually. Yeah. If anything, I would almost encourage you all to actually lay around traps or things that would actually provide us intel on where they are to track them so that we can actually hit them with full force so that we don't take any unnecessary losses in this hunt.
One of the hunters steps forward and goes, from what you can tell, everything seems to be metallic in here. Is that the case?
More or less, yeah.
He kind of looks at one of the other hunters, talks for a second, and we have an idea. It might work. And he looks at you and goes, a druid, I can shapeshift, and there is a creature I'm aware of that can sense vibrations pretty well.
Okay.
But in that form, I can only speak that way. So one of my friends here also knows some druidic magic, and he'd be able to translate for you as well in that regard. So I can kind of get a sense of certain things within a certain distance of us.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be at the head of our pack.
Right. Okay. He's a little timid, but
Huh.
Don't worry.
Hey, we can use you. We're also going to risk your life. What?
great. All right. Okay. Just looking for a ride home, but all right.
You'll get your ride home. I'll make sure that you survive this.
Let's hope so. As he kind of turns to looks kind of similar to a mole, but a bit larger. And also has no eyes.
Fucking Totodile.
Hmm. I look to the other
So
hunter. Be sure to sound that alarm as soon as you even sense that he or the party is in danger.
very well.
You know what? My
Alright.
jackass is going to follow right behind this guy.
Alrighty.
I'm going to
Alright.
cover this poor soul.
What's the remainder of the hunters? Because if anything, with this kind of a bloodhound of attacked on hand,
The other
it'd be-
four are basically classifications somewhere between a mix of fighter and ranger.
right?
So most of them seem to be pretty capable in that regard.
All
Rough
right,
estimate.
let's go hunt some chimeras.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's,
Let's go down.
let's kill some endangered species.
Let's go down, get the crystal, and then we can actually get hunting.
So you guys make your way, and he's not sensing anything. And then Raynell kind of pipes up from the mid of the group, and he's like, "It should be about 2 more bulkheads, and then we'll be into the engine room." And it's about this point the creature leading the front at the moment stops, turns his head, and screeches a little noises at the other hunter, and he turns and looks at you guys. He's saying that there are 7 creatures. They're all in the next room.
Well then,
Can we
Can I
bait
use
one
my-
out?
Can I use my lightning breath in that room and hopefully stun him?
I instruct the druid combo. It's like gather yourselves up and get to the center of the group.
They nod and they kind of move.
Would you like to football thunderclap in there with your new abs, Gilgamesh?
Can't throw them anymore.
So I'm just gonna like flex my ab in a really like demonstrably weird way, like in his eyes. He's gonna know it's gonna mean yes, but he's gonna be a little creeped out about it. Like meat's
Okay.
not supposed to move in that direction.
Gross. I checked the door to see if it can be opened even subtly.
I'm gonna look
I
at
mean-
the monk and ask him to kick the door open so I can lightning breath right into the room.
Well, they
Let me get through my
yeah, basically,
inspection,
right,
and
yeah,
you're
they
going to be
open-
welcomed.
They open in
Okay.
towards the room, so the hatch wheel essentially is on this side, so you don't have to pry
Mhm.
this one.
Oh, I thought we were gonna play police.
I do
So-
still have my torch, so how much can I see?
I mean, from where you're at and stuff like that, you pull the hatch open and start to crack it. But as you do, lights kick on.
Mm,
The second the hatch starts to even open even an inch, you see that whole room beyond light up.
right. And what do I
So-
see?
Blinding light.
Arcane magical devices of some sort. As the door starts to open more and more, at the center of the room, you start to see these creatures. 2 of them seem to be like wrapped up around the base of this crystalline structure, and there are 5 others that are kind of pacing around the room, climbing up on the equipment and different things of that nature.
Am I the only one that's actually in the room right now, or we actually
I mean, you're at the bulkhead door. You just kind of opened it and looked
peeking
in.
in?
Yeah.
I motion for Ray to come over to share the view and whisper to him, "Is that the crystal that we're looking for?"
It is. That's what we
Yeah.
need.
Are they feeding off of it?
Seems like they might be absorbing some kind of arcane energy off it of some sort. He's like,
Well,
right.
I move. I just motion us back in and very quietly close the door, and go. Well, it would appear Gilgamesh would like to go in there and thunderclap to stun them, and I would also like to see that we don't actually damage that crystal. So, do you have any thing to make sure we're concerned about before we engage with these creatures?
I wasn't
Raynell
going to
chuckles.
thunderclap.
He's like, Raynell chuckles. He's like, you won't be able to damage that crystal.
All right.
I wasn't going to thunderclap. I was going to lightning breath.
That
I
might
don't care.
work.
New abilities.
Well,
Trust me, it's different.
I
The
believe
one
you.
comes from his cheeks.
The
I'm
other
not
from his
clapping my
mouth.
cheeks for this thunder. This one's coming straight out of my belly.
Well, if we aren't worried about damaging the crystal, I think we can open with a very heavy volley. Does everyone have what is
I'd
it?
agree.
We can plan forever, but as soon as that door opens, it's all gonna go to shit.
Knock,
Oh, I
knock,
know.
open up the door and squeal.
I just want to pick so flame breath out the gate. Ready, Gilgamesh?
Lightning.
I'm gonna make sure my dragon is still out to
Lightning breath.
I'm
use in the
gonna.
fight as well.
I'm not gonna answer Aaron verbally, but I'm gonna flex my abs in a weird way that lets him know it's yes, but also very confusing.
I am gonna nod to the two druid hunters to get themselves ready for combat, like change out of the mole stance or whatever.
So the new dragons, are they old enough yet to fight, or is it too?
They're still in their eggs.
They're still eggs.
Bruh,
Yeah.
they're babies.
So
You really would be making scrambled eggs if you threw them in there.
You gonna eat
Wouldn't
that?
be the first thing I threw in the
That's
extended
what
scramble.
fucked me up. I'm like, how weird would it be if I ate these eggs in front of this dragon, dude?
he would actually not care about those two.
Oh, cool. All right. Right. Monk, kick open the door with your strong legs.
I kick at door.
All right.
All right.
I try
Give me a
to. You
strength
said
check
it's
to
two,
see.
right? So I try to kick in the
Wait,
middle.
why are you kicking the door when it's a pull open door?
It's a
Dude.
push
No,
open.
it's-
You said that earlier.
Look,
Yeah.
we're running a police raid on this. So knock,
So
knock,
we're
open up the
stupid.
door and squeal.
It's definitely a push open.
Yeah.
He went in.
It's
depth.
already unlatched, so it's fine. But I just want to see how hard he hits it, essentially. What'd you get?
18.
Okay. So
Does
you
the
give that
door-
the good old mighty boot and sidestep immediately. That door fully just slaps the wall metal as these creatures all start to look up and turn. A couple of them hop down as Gilgamesh steps forward. Best case scenario, you're going to be able to line up 3 of them in a single shot.
So here's a weird thing. Lightning breath doesn't have a hit DC, it just has a damage thing. So
It's a dexterity save, DC 15. You just roll damage.
oh, dope. All right, let's do some damage. That was a 6.
All
What did
right.
I do, Chris? What did I do?
I have to check 2 things.
So can I lightning breath in tandem with this with my dragon?
If you would like to, yeah.
I'm going to.
Go ahead.
God,
I'm
Damn.
hoping
Roll
I
the
can
damage.
see my character sheet again soon.
let's burn the whole place down to the ground.
Jesus. What the fuck?
Oh,
So
fuck.
you got what?
30.
30 damage?
Okay. So 36 damage from your guys' stuff. And
Mhm.
with the way they were set up in position, you guys fired, knowing you're not going to be able to hurt the crystal anyway, but the lightning definitely hits it. But as it does, you see in the crystal for a moment as the lightning's tracing over it, that lightning starts to form, and you see this other head of a dragon kind of made of lightning kind of form as it turns and just sprays the room in a conal arc of lightning.
Oh shit!
Combo
Crystal
breaker.
helped us.
Combo breaker.
That was a 99% for backlash.
Jesus.
Thankfully, none of y'all are in the room, so
Right.
Man, that sucks.
So
hang on, I'm rolling.
Honestly,
did we just see 4 of that
Man,
room of
see,
these creatures?
your snorts,
FBI, open up! Boom!
man, see, like your deep snorts are like on point. How much damage did you do?
It would have been enough to nearly kill most of us.
Yeah.
It helps when you can like gaslight lightning into the
Damn.
room.
Okay, with your guys', that brings the total to 143 damage.
Yo, let's go! I'm gonna run up.
Per creature or split across?
Per creature.
Dude,
So-
I'm gonna high five Melanie's
minimum-
character so hard.
So minimum they're taking what, 70 some odd damage each?
No, it's 143
No, it's
per character.
143 per creature.
Oh,
That's 3 completely dead.
If
I
only-
thought that was the like
Spread
amount
damage?
of damage.
No, that's
period
why I
had to be
asked that
halved.
question.
Ember, we have a combo move.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Combo breaker.
Honestly, if you do it again, we probably clean the room. Like,
I just want to make sure they're all dead, so let's do that one more time.
it's not hitting any of us.
I did
We're outside the
roll a
room.
6, so I have my lightning breath on my dragon back.
4,
I can do it one more time before I
5.
need to sleep.
No, that's enough. 2 lived.
Jesus.
um,
Yeah, you
I
guys
would
want
say
to-
just
roll
got
for
a lot
initiative.
easier.
I would say roll for initiative, but at this point, Melanie, you need to get your dragon breath back. Are you gonna fire off the second shot?
I am.
Can I join
Alright.
in? Because I have another shot before I have to
Straight
do a
at the
long rest.
crystal again.
Go for it.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do a
Roll your
combo breaker
damages.
again. Let's go. Combo breaker. I got a 7. And what did she get?
Oh, only 10 this time. So 17.
Yeah, but they're still hurt already.
No, just
Yeah. So
Those aren't hurt at all.
you got 17. You got what?
No,
Okay.
10. I got 10, Frank got 7. 17's the
Okay,
total.
17. Let me roll the percentage to see what effect this triggers.
In my mind, I'm just sneezing lightning out of my nostrils.
What that sneeze be like?
Okay, so in this moment, Gilgamesh and Ember step forward. Ember kind of leans her shoulder on and goes, "You know what to do." Scratches her dragon. You see this blue glow creep all the way up to its throat. And then right as he does, so does Gilgamesh. And these lightning arcs just shoot into the room. It sprays, and then this blast comes out and hits everything. The lightning's arcing all over the place in this room. Devices are starting to turn on all over the place. The hallways behind you guys are all lighting up and everything like that for a second. And then the second one hits from both of them again as they let loose the second blast. Same thing starts to occur, except this time you didn't get the same effect. This detonation occurs in the room for a second of this arcane energy that like goes off, but the second it does, all lightning stops, the engines shut down, everything shuts off, the lights turn out.
I just have my torch still.
That's a
Yeah.
little scary.
I have my lantern.
That's the second one of the other effects that can happen from one of these backlashes is it's a greater dispel AoE. So it just
Oh,
dispelled
no.
all magic in that room completely.
Dude, that is an insane
Non-refundable.
way to turn the lights off.
Does that mean Gilgamesh loses his abs?
Oh no.
Well, no, he's not in the room fully. He's at the door.
Yeah, my abs
But,
are outside, thank you very much.
Now that doesn't destroy the Arcanum crystal, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's unaffected. It is what's causing it, essentially.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to use real magic now.
These creatures are chimeras. They're magically assembled creatures.
Oh.
Well, it would appear their DNA is about to
Nice.
fail.
So
So
As
we
the
don't
lights
have to
go
fight
out-
anything.
all you guys hear is as these things explode into pink mist around the room. As no magic is longer holding these things together.
Wait, can I look at the meat that's left behind? Like, hey, are you guys gonna eat that?
What?
Raynell kind of leans his head around the area, looking into the room. Goes, third objective complete. I'm gonna go get one.
Hey, while you're doing that,
Steaks in there.
I'm gonna harvest any of the meat and horns that are on the Chimera. By the way,
Oh my god.
Okay.
You get one, I get the other.
I'll look
In that
around
regard,
as well for shit.
all right. I'm not even making roll investigation at that point. That's just too funny. I can't believe that effect came up. All right. I'm not gonna lie.
feel like-
Had y'all been in that room, that could have been really bad for all your gear. But
Yeah, no shit.
man, it's unfortunate there's only corpses in here.
here's the thing. Y'all can split this up however you guys want it amongst yourselves. There are 22 dragon horns and about, given their size, I would say about 40 pounds of fairy bones.
I'm gonna try and grasp as many of the dragon horns as possible. I'm willing to be like compromisable on that. I just need the horns.
You're splitting half with it. You're splitting it
That-
evenly.
Yeah, evenly, yeah.
Who,
Yeah.
who
So
wants
whoever's-
horns? How many ways are we splitting it?
What was the bone
I-
count, by the way?
40 something.
40
Four.
pounds worth of fairy bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we
22
split
dragon
evenly.
horns.
Yeah, I
22
agree
dragon
with
horns, okay.
splitting everything evenly.
So what kind of dragon horns?
Just
You can't quite tell. They're kind of covered in blood, gore, and viscera.
You just know that. You just know
Well,
that
how
they're very horny. That's all you know.
How many?
22 in total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
And
how's
we're
that,
just, we're,
how's that between all of us?
yeah,
I'll take
we're
4. I'll take
We
4.
can-
Call that.
we can put them in the party pod or something like that.
I'll take 3 because I have horns already.
I'll take 4.
In a weird way.
Oh, what is that? Just inventory? No, bag of.
Notes other.
Are we doing the fairy bones the same way?
How many?
Yeah.
How many of those do we get?
Yeah, I'll split that 5 ways, so I'm not really sure.
It's 8 pounds a piece.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to notes. Other.
Outside of that,
Yeah.
at this point, as you guys are collecting up the bits and pieces, Raynell walks over, puts his hand onto the crystal for a moment, smiles and nods, and goes, "It's good to have you home." And then he picks it up and starts placing it into his bag with the rest of the stuff.
Dope.
And he's very happy at this point. He looks at you guys and goes, "You have done my kind of great service this day, and I appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a man of my word, I shall say." As he, starts
Who
to
is
head
this
out.
person again?
Raynell, it's the human that's been following you guys with the
Did I give a
dragon
name?
part.
Yeah, Raynell. Raynell.
Raynell.
You.
He's the guy with the bow that's been running around with Gilgamesh.
Alrighty.
The one that made a man out of me, quite literally.
So
Did he
At
have
this-
a song montage for it?
P is for perfect.
Honestly, I'm kind of happy ending it there. I feel like that's like the wonderful ending spot.
Well, I was gonna say at this point, you guys kind of end up. I'm assuming heading outside. As you finally get outside, what has transpired in that room finally hits the hunters, as most of them are like off in the grass now, puking their guts out.
Hey, can I lick some of the guts off my face?
Wait, how many? And it killed all 9. It killed all 8 of them.
7.
There's 7 of them. Yeah, so there's still 1 missing, right?
No.
No, they killed them all. There was only
It's
7.
weird. The lightning didn't do as much as the dispel magic did. The dispel magic made sure they were all gone.
Yeah. No,
There's 8
essentially
total.
for the purposes of clarity in that regard, the one that Frank wounded earlier,
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
no way to heal.
So yeah.
So it crawled into the belly of the ship somewhere and just died. It was trying to get
Okay.
away because it was hurt.
Okay.
Sadly,
Alright.
it has a vulnerability to like arcane energy.
Weird.
Mm.
So him hitting it with the Eldritch Blast fucked it up.
Mhm.
So,
And then
bitch.
its secondary vulnerability is also like fire. And
Right.
molten metal counts as fire damage. So when Frank missed and hit the metal and melted a portion of it onto it, it took double damage from that.
And were
So-
you, as DM, watching this unfold in front of you and going, "How the fuck does Frank actually like?"
Accidentally
No.
succeed massively. It happens quite a bit in this campaign so far, and I'm
So-
still
so-
wondering how the fuck it happened.
So Aaron, there's a discussion you and him are going to have that we had before. None of what I'm doing is intentional. None of what happened here today or prior is intentional. None of it.
And
There's
the worst
no
part is,
mastermind. There's no intelligence.
It doesn't
there's
fucking
nothing.
matter.
Yeah.
and the worst part about it is I'm like, you know what? I'll let the dice decide. I really don't care what happens in that regard as far as what he's doing in those things. But the dice are with him, and I like even on my end they're with him, and I don't know how.
I noticed that whenever I went to combat that he wanted, things have gone exceptionally in his direction. Other things, more tactful, more subtle, more charismatic, intelligent. Nope.
Nope, not
So-
at all. But
I'm
Yeah.
not deciding the rules of the game. I didn't choose this life. It chose me.
apparently,
Oh,
I do love that we got two absolutely incredible effects. Like,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong. If you're in the room, those were devastating. Like TPK party wipe bad, but
yep.
Yeah,
yeah, I
but
mean,
the fact that me and Amber have like a combo breaker like, moment.
Basically.
So they're getting most of the XP, right?
well, we're doing milestone for these, so
Dude, let me
But,
level up and get a fourth pair of abs, like just a slight like 8-pack going on.
we'll see.
One
So at this
extra
point,
round.
everybody kind of gets out and stuff like that. The lieutenant and the crew members are outside at this point, waiting on you guys to come back out. They're
This is
still
actu-
wondering
yeah.
like
Yeah,
what do you
this
want
is a-
them to
this is a
do?
good-
Should we get some crew to excavate and stuff like that? And at this time, Raynell comes out with you guys. He looks down at the Drake and goes, "It's time to go home." And he dismisses the Drake and it vanishes. He, nudges the pseudo dragon on it, in his hood, and it comes out and he goes, "What are you doing?" And it kind of leans up to his ear for a few minutes, and he's like, "Really? All right, well, it's your choice, my friend, and I wish you best of luck." And it hops down, goes over, and just kind of crawls up Elia and just sits on its head. So there's a bird person with a pseudo dragon just mounted on top of it now.
Okay.
I think you have a friend now, Elia.
All right.
Renell looks at you and goes, "He says that he smelled good food. Apparently,
Oh.
you smell like good food. I'm not sure if you're talking about you or something you have on you, but
I go into my bag of holding and I pull out a giant turkey leg like you see at a Ren fair and I
Yeah.
hand it to him.
that might explain it. But apparently, he's going to follow you for a little bit."
Well, I am the chef.
Is it Kenku? Isn't
That would
that
explain
kind of
it.
like cannibalism in a weird way?
In like a
well,
prehistoric way.
Crows will eat anything.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
fine.
Chickens eat
right?
other chickens.
That's true. They know chicken nuggets are delicious.
But at this point, Raynell goes, "Well, a deal is a deal. I'm going to have to ask you guys to return to your ship, and I will start excavation."
By yourself?
It shouldn't be a problem.
I turn and look at Wrath with the disbelieving look on my face, saying, "Dude, he's about to go full dragon."
I had a hunch. Everyone on board.
I'm gonna go
I guess
before
get ready
we
for
leave.
a show.
Before we leave, I'm gonna go ahead and like yank on the ranger's arm and just look like please show me.
You'll be in for a treat in this moment. You might want to make some space, though.
I'm gonna pull out both of my eggs and just run on top of like the other ship.
So, as you guys are up on the ship deck and everything at this point, he kind of gives you guys a nod. and you see him just boom. He is an ancient brass, meaning he is about 190 feet long from nose to tail. His shoulder is at the height your ship is hovering at. And he looks at you and goes, "All right." He stands on his hind legs, uses his wings to back himself up, grabs the ass end of the ship, and you see him just pull the whole thing straight out of the dirt. Trees still mounted on top of it and everything.
This is some
He
Dragon
kinda
Ball
just
scene.
brushes the rest of the stuff off the top, and you see like the bottom decks are crumpled in on each other on the front.
From the impact and everything.
And he looks at it for a second and goes, "Well, to get it home," looks at your ship for a moment, and you see him wave his hand. You see these arcane runes start to form along the side of the ship, and then they matches his hand across the side of yours, and he places it, and then it holds position. It'll keep it there for the time being. Just don't wait more than a month.
That's a long period of time.
And it's just floating in the air like at our elevation.
Yeah, it'll match your ship.
Oh, it'll match our ship's movement basically.
Yeah. He looks at you and goes, "Well, seems that we both kept up our end of the deals, although I don't agree with some decisions that were made here. Others, I think choices were excellently made. I look forward to seeing what happens in the future." With that being said, and he turns over to Ember for a second, he looks at you and goes, "For a Dragon Knight to do another dragon a favor is a great deal. And in that regard," and you see this like arcane energy kind of flow off him for a second towards you, Ember. You gain a feat.
Oh,
Wow.
You are gaining the gift of the chromatic dragon, or not the chromatic, the metallics. So you now have the gift of the metallic dragon. You can add to your sheet as D&D Beyond breaks on me.
Okay. I got it.
It's been doing that to me tonight. It's
I
And
was
I
trying
have
to
to
add
choose
it,
one of the
but
two options available, right?
yeah. So you've been blessed with that gift. John, at this point, he looks at you and goes, "You have great strength, and despite sensing no ties or allegiance to the crew that was with this party or anyone here really, you decided to aid me in your own endeavor and will seek no reward for it, from what I can tell. That, too, in and of its own right, is a sense of honor that I can respect." And then again, the arcane energy flows off him to you, and you gain the gift of the metallic dragon.
Is it weird that like I see this dragon with a Marlboro Red in his mouth, just like sitting there?
Just pulls out a pack from just pulls a pack out from underneath the scale. Just,
a tremendous
Yo,
honor.
Saitama, what's good, my guy? Light cigarette?
A tremendous
It's like a
honor,
gift.
yeah.
So you can add that to your character as well.
Done.
Correct me if Manatee, what did you grab in the room?
The green egg.
Green egg?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So those who grab the chromatic eggs, he's not going to be able to bless you. That's the downside in that regard.
I already got my blessing, my guy.
You did.
He gave me a 6-pack.
So he goes, and with that, our business is concluded. I
Should I, like,
must
throw an egg in
return
him or
to my
something?
territory and see how it's fared in my absence. So, if there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
oh, What was the name of the monster fish or whatnot in the canyon here?
Oh, I have to look that up. Hang on.
If I'm thinking what you're thinking, we take a long rest before we punch him in the mouth.
Kravek. Kravek.
And that's a fish or something like that, or what was it?
Yeah. A carnivorous
Considering you've been,
fish.
yeah. Considering how long you've been locked away, would you be interested in fish for your first meal?
He kind of looks at you confused for a moment and goes, "I'm not sure your stores can handle me eating."
Oh, I don't think my stores could handle it for how good of cooking as Alaya does. But there is a Kravak here on this island. Have you heard of such a creature?
You see him like perplexed for a moment. And he goes, "I haven't."
Well, in our endeavor for at least taming this island, that Kravak poses a threat to not only the indigenous people here, but any futures that we might actually have on this island. Would you be up for a new set of business with us?
You see him think about it for a moment.
Not going to make him roll like charisma or anything, like persuasion.
Well, no, because he has
This
been
might
in
be-
there for a long time, so food does sound appealing. He just didn't want to like empty your entire fucking stores to eat.
That should have been
So-
a seduction roll at that point, then.
But he thinks about it for a second. And he's like, "I could use a meal." He kind of looks
Succulent
around
Chinese
the
meal.
scenery.
Does the dragon put the Marlboro Red back in his mouth?
Yes.
Which gift
God.
was it? The chromatic dragon?
No, the metallic,
God damn, Marlboro Reds and fish sound great.
right? He kind of looks at you from it and kind of points around, like which direction.
Do I have natives on this ship with me, right? The hunters.
Yeah.
I call over one of them. And it's like, which direction should we send our dragon friend here, Ray, for the fish? That was
It's at this point now that you're not like focused on him ripping the ship out of the ground and stuff like that and talking with him that you kind of see the whole crew is about a hair's breadth away from shitting themselves. As one of the hunters just kind of immediately like you talk to him for he's like, "What?" And he just immediately snaps a finger in a direction. That way. It's that way. He kind of nods. He goes, "Well, I'm gonna see to my meal and be on my way."
Thank you, sir.
He kind of nods to all of you for a minute. A few powerful beats of his wings as your sails start to like rustle in their tied up state and stuff like that a bit. And a few of the crew members are kind of tucking down a little bit and stuff in that regard to kind of brace themselves a little bit as he's taking off. And he moves off in that direction. And it's about 5-6 minutes before you all of a sudden hear a loud roar, a crashing sound, and then one of the two mesas that are making up that canyon just crumbles as you see him taking off with what looks like a quarter of a fish left without the rest of it.
Oh. Well.
Well, I think that concludes all of our objectives. You guys ready to go home and pick everyone else up?
Let's go grab the rest of the fish that he may have left behind. We have a village to feed.
Or, hear me
Oh,
out,
he ate
we can
that.
take the fish.
Oh,
we
he
could
already
just-
ate the other half? Okay.
We could just leave and
He
not
ate
feed
the whole
them.
thing, right?
Huh?
Yeah, he just
ate
had like
the
the
whole thing.
tail end of it in his claw as he was flying off.
Yeah, it's gonna be lunch for tomorrow. Alrighty.
I kind of feel like that dragon owes us.
Then I think we can
Did you ever get your bow back?
Nope.
No, he's got it. I don't know where he's keeping that bow on that, like, it's just
Dude,
on
this
one of
whole-
its scales or something.
This whole dragon episode basically became like bye bye Butterfree from Pokemon. Like he just flew off. Like we're like goodbye. And
All right, let's head back to the village and
All right.
call it a night.
With that being the case, I need a history check from Ember. I need a history check at this point, seeing his full form, from Gilgamesh. I need.
I got a 20 on my history check.
16 on mine.
Okay. So you go to 20 and 16. Okay. From what you guys know, with Gilgamesh, it's more of a memory that with kobolds, they do have a little bit of draconic blood in them, and it does pass down a bit of draconic knowledge in that regard. Not much. Normally, it's like how to eat, how to survive, that type of thing.
But
But
what about
as
as
you
a
see
big
them,
6-pack ab like Dragon Man?
but as you see like the dragon in full form and stuff like that, you get a name in your head. Whereas Ember, with your background and stuff like that, one of the first things you would have studied in the library and stuff would have been probably the Fae. The name immediately pops into your mind of a giant ancient brass that is the Earl King's bonded dragon. And the name that pops to both of you at this point would be Prander, Prander.
I'm gonna should write that down real quick. You said Prander?
Yeah.
I'm going to say out loud, farewell, Prander. So that Eric can note it down in his notes.
I'm gonna look up at Prander and be like, I'll eat you later, buddy.
One hell of a meal.
One hell of a fucking meal.
I
Yeah.
have nothing but like the first time the line was said in this whole campaign, just 2 birds.
You should be saying yes, chef.
So, with that being said, you guys, at this point, just to kind of synopsis this venture of the Lost Fleet, you've mapped the jet stream, so you can get back here if you need to. You're the only ones who currently have that information.
Mm-hmm.
2, you have acquired the Wayfarer,
Yep.
and have it currently tethered to your ship through arcane means. You have acquired potentially dragons to bond with if they're metallics in that regard. The chromatics, on the other hand, do require some extra steps.
Mm.
We'll get into that later on. But you've also agreed to ferry back people to the main continent who want to return to the normal world.
Yep.
The village has also been protected now from that monstrous fucking fish from eating
Can
them.
I comment real quick? This is the
What's that?
first time we've actually done a good thing for somebody else.
Really is, like,
That's all I want to say. Like,
blowing up cities, burning down nobles. Like, it's been horrible up until now, and this is the first time y'all actually have done a good thing.
I'm just saying it's
This-
wholesome, and I don't like it.
This is not torture in a sewer.
Yeah, right. But technically, all objectives here, once you get the crew or the people loaded up and on board and stuff like that, are done. You may return to the jet stream and get back without issue. From that point, it would basically be a couple days of travel to get back to LSD.
That's the options, or is that just like the
That's your
progression?
turn in.
But they're turning it in. Okay, because I
Yeah.
was, I was also of mind to like grab another ship to like because we had like a 2-ship towing.
That's true.
capacity.
There was the other ship we were looking to try and grab for extra money.
Yeah,
No, I mean, you could go grab the original scout ship if you wanted to.
yeah, because there's nothing's. Yeah, we can grab the other scout
Yeah.
ship or whatnot, and yeah, just to have that
Yeah.
2-tow maximum. We even probably have less of a drag with the Wayfarer, so yeah.
We basically genocided all the threats, so we're good. Like,
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
with that being said, I do have to roll for one more thing for all of you.
that was very appropriate, by the way.
That would come up during trip back.
How do you roll
Constitution
that,
check.
by the way, Manatee? Can you
Are we
explain that
fighting
one?
the ghost ship?
It'd be a Constitution
No.
check.
Technically speaking, even though they detonated all over the room, that greater dispel cannot remove the effect of Titan's blood in its liquid format.
Can I eat it?
And thankfully
to
for you
try.
guys, you don't suffer the negative effect. But with a 92% on the roll, each one of you gets to roll a d6. And 1 is strength, 2 is dexterity, 3 is constitution, 4 is intelligence, 5 is wisdom, 6 is charisma. If you look at feats, there is in the feat list a thing called Titan Imbued.
I don't
Yep.
think I have that in my own feats.
Found it.
Yep.
What does a 4 get me?
Go to feature and traits, go to feats, and then scroll down to Titan Imbued section.
Yeah, which ones are which again? So I think you said 6
So-
was charisma, right?
Yeah, 1 through 6, if you look at your character sheet, starting from left to right, from
Oh,
strength
so
to
it's
charisma.
strength, dexterity is 2, constitution is 3, just literally straight across. Okay.
Basically.
Can I mulligan?
Yeah.
Wait, where
If
did
you
you
still
do
have
that?
yours,
Did you just search it randomly, or like? Because I'm not seeing it in my own feats or anything.
No, you need to go.
I went from 4 to
feats
2,
and
so I go to
add it.
dex, yeah?
I the amount of strength and powering I have on this character at this point, because I got a 1.
oh, nice.
Where were you searching this? Oh, manage feats.
No, it's feats, manage feats. You'll find it in there. But you have to roll a d6 to figure out which one you get.
Let's just roll a d6 first and
So
see which
what
one I
does
got.
it actually do?
You'll get Titan Imbued strength. Like you can just add one of them and read it, but
Yeah.
like for at a cost of
I got a 5. What's a
But it
5?
doesn't do anything
Wisdom.
when I select it.
So what it
Did you
does is it
add
gives
one
you
of
the
the-
option. What it does is it gives you the option. Unrefined sordilite, the crystals. If it's unrefined and it's at least 1 pound of it, you can crush it, and for 24 hours, anything involving that stat you have advantage on. So if it's charisma and you crush the stone and you gain advantage on anything charisma related, whether it's a skill, spell checks, anything.
Can I not crush the stone and just hold on to it?
But we
No, you
we
have this
need the
ability.
stone, or like so we
You
still
now have the feat.
require a sordilite
But
stone.
you have to have a sword
You
light
still
stone
have
to
to have the
activate
sword of
the
light stone
feat.
to use it, yeah. And it's got to be at least 1 pound. But if you do that for 24 hours, your character has advantage on that stat, period.
Can I just not use it?
Yeah, you don't have
It's
to.
when you
just
want to
an
use
option.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool.
it's a
Oh, we're good.
feature on your character now. You
No,
just need
but
sword light
you
to
don't.
activate.
No, you don't. Like, I'm not going to explain this to you
Dad, can
because
we
it's
quit
going to.
fighting?
No, we're not fighting. I'm not going to explain this to Aaron because it would spoil shit. So I'm not going to like bother like going into it. But there's
Fair
a reason
enough.
why I asked that question,
Yeah.
and it's not related to him being annoyed.
No. Essentially, it is optional. You don't have to do it. It is just a feature your character has. If you do get a hold of 1 pound of sword of light that's unrefined, you can use it for this purpose instead.
Don't allude to what I'm getting.
I'm not. But you guys do technically have that now. Thanks to the mystified exposure of Titan's blood.
Dope.
Yo, let's
So it
look that
definitely
shit up.
gives the sword of light an extra use in that regard.
Yes. I'm trying to
So-
remember, like, yeah, there's no actually written cost for what it is. Like, wait, there we go. Unrefined. 500 gold for a pound of unrefined. Yeah. Dope. Cool.
Does that automatically calculate? Is there a way to like activate it on the sheet, or is that just you have to remember you have advantage?
It should show up on the sheet once you have it on your character.
Weird question. Before we close out, could I visit someone to help me out with a particular task?
For the task you're talking about, or at least I think you're talking about, you'd have to wait till you get back to Elistine.
Okay.
That's where we're going to pick up next session is y'all's return to Elistine.
Okay. No, we'll chill.
So if that worked the way it's supposed to. Yeah. It's listed on the sheet, but Basically, it's anything that has strength. So strength checks, strength saving throws. Like for skills, it'd be like athletics.
It puts an A beside the ones that you now have advantage on because you have this one you chose.
Yeah, but it,
So,
it
for
didn't do it to
example-
the saves.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing it didn't do. That's why I mentioned it specifically on that one.
Oh, so what
But
is
it should
this?
show you on the skill set, at least. But yeah, that's only active when you crush the Sword of Light. So, I mean, 500 gold for a boost in a boss scenario is always good.
Right. Wait, did we? Sorry, did I just miss it? Is that how? Were we just talking about how you activate it and how it should appear on the sheet or something like that, or?
Yeah, essentially, when you pick it up, if you look at your sheet in particular,
Mhm.
your athletics has an A for advantage next to it.
Right.
But if you click on that A, it'll say it's Titan imbued strength. So you only get that
Right.
when it's active.
Okay. So we have to just, and it's going to be just by like pure memory that we're going to remember it and thus have it active at the time for the event.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of the things you have to pay attention to, essentially.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I mean, there was also a 90% chance that you also got very sick and potentially died. So
I just forgot to mention that part.
It was like a 90% chance that we died. And
A 90% chance that we'd fucking die.
long term, yeah. Essentially, if your body can't adapt to Titan's blood in the liquid format,
Mhm.
you effectively get D&D version of cancer and die.
Is
There's
it long?
so many deaths we avoided today already.
It
Right.
really is like.
Hey Chris, is it long term or short term death? Please let me know.
But no, in that state, you guys actually got over the 90 percentile, so you actually do get it. Instead, is so you've adapted to Titan's blood at this point, which is why you're able to use Sword of Light to empower yourself.
Dope. Cool. Alrighty. We all ready to get out of here?
Those chimeras got it like
Yep.
Frank's dad.
Dude, straight up. But here's the thing though, right? It's okay. Before you close that recording out, I talked to him and he said it was okay.
As long as we have consent, it's okay.
Dude, he's like, you know what? It was a little weird at first and I was a little taken aback, but you know what? Your friends are cool. It's fine.
On that note, have a good night, everyone.
Yeah.